see her rolling up over black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy.
So, real quick here at the top of the episode, I did want to talk about a sensitive subject without actually talking about the sensitive subject. So, yesterday, which was Friday, because we're recording on Saturday today, I have a very busy Sunday ahead of me. The Supreme Court did a thing because they decided that it's a good idea to release massively controversial things on a Friday. Because, you know, if you want riots, that's how you get riots. Anyways, so a particular musical artist that I follow, a member of a particular group, he's known for running his mouth, but usually in a comedic way. He put up a post, not actually, voicing an actual opinion, technically speaking. He put up a post basically wishing death upon a specific Supreme Court judge in a joking manner, sort of. So my critique was literally like, dude, like, it's one thing if you just disagree with the verdict, you disagree with whatever politically, but it's not okay, especially for somebody with a mild level of fame, to just call for the death of somebody that they disagree with.
So who was the artist you're talking about? Like,
you wouldn't know them technically speaking, but it was Tim Faust of Home Free.
don't know him.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Home Free is a country a cappella group, and Tim Faust
I
is
definitely
their bass.
fucking don't know that shit.
Well, they're really fucking good. Either way.
I'm sure they aren't.
No, they are. Fuck off. So, but anyway, so I talked about it in the stream a little bit last night because actually Will, who, writes in fairly often here, he came over and listened to the podcast after, being there for my live streams on Thursday and Friday nights.
Well,
and
we haven't made him rage quit yet, so that's good.
well, he rage quit once, but, and then realized, he was in the wrong, but it's fine. So either way, he brought it up. Well, I mean, we were already talking about it in a very general fashion, but he said a particular thing, and so I decided to voice my opinion, and not my opinion on abortion and stuff like that, but my opinion on that. Like, it's not okay. It's just not. To just continually call for violence, to continually call for violent riots, to continually call for the death of people you disagree with. It's fucking wrong. And to do so in a public manner, it's one thing if it's like, okay, you and me talking in private, especially not on a fucking podcast, and we talk some shit, fine. But to do it publicly on all forms of social media is kind of fucked up, especially when all the other members of your group have not said anything. It's like you gotta think at some point you might be speaking for or might be seen as speaking for the group. So, maybe if you want to voice an actual opinion, not just call for the death of somebody or say it's a great idea if this person just up and dies. I think, I don't know. It's like there's something a little bit tactless about that. However you might feel about the situation itself. But like, and he's just one in a giant stream of people on the internet right now doing those things. Whether it's other politicians, whether it's former presidents, whether it's movie stars, TV stars, musical artists of the like,
Refer back to the previous conversation we had a few weeks ago where I'm like, the internet and people's capabilities to immediately say whatever stupid shit pops in their head is what's ruining the world as it exists.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't care what he thinks. And the problem is people get their heads pumped up because they're, quote unquote famous. They think everybody gives a fuck about their thoughts on everything. So they just throw it all over the internet.
Well,
like, shut the fuck up. If I want your thoughts on it, I'd be on a podcast with you asking you your thoughts on it. If I'm not, then I don't fucking care.
Like I said, the way I look at it, if he had actually posted his thoughts on it, then I would have some respect for it. But he didn't. All he said in verbatim was, I'm actually for extremely late term abortions, e.g. Clarence Thomas. So literally saying, hey, I think it's cool to go ahead and abort somebody I disagree with. And then some other people rightly pointed out, or I should say,
That he's a fucking idiot.
Well, not just that. He basically said, it's like, okay, well, so and this is just what this person said. It's like, so you're admitting that it's murder and you're calling for the murder of a black man.
You're just doubling down on the shit, getting yourself in trouble.
That was and like I said, he does have a big mouth. He does tend to run his mouth about things, but this is the first time I've seen him go in any direction like that. So it's a little fucked up. I don't care what he believes in. I care that he did that. So I just wanted to voice my opinion on just that action, not his opinion. Does that make sense? And due to that, like, Will did actually write in to the email, which is NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. I'm going to read this. If you don't hear it, it's because we decided to actually remove it because it's too spicy. But I'm going to read it for the panel here, which, by the way, we do have a guest.
Yeah, he just totally skipped by all the introductions.
Well, that's because at the intro, I don't usually do the intro until we get into it. We usually do things first.
Oh, well, then there's somebody here named Bob or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Bob. So we have a Bob.
We have a Bob here.
We do have a guest this week because Mike is out from being exhausted from work. But we have somebody who's familiar to at least the Shoky channel. We do have Jerry.
Hi, nice to be here.
Yes. He's
Thank you for joining us, Jerry.
He was available. That's basically all it came down to.
Next week we'll have Tom on.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I made a dad joke. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. Actually, Jerry did participate in the previous MS100 contest and was one of the winners.
Nice.
So
yes. Okay, so this is one of the guys you were telling us about that did the Gundam builds with the custom paints and stuff?
Yep.
All right, cool. So you have to show me one of them that he won with or something.
Yeah, I'll show. Either way, we're back to...
This might be pulled out into a bonus.
It'll probably be a bonus anyways because it's a hefty topic, but either way, welcome back to Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 16. I'm Shoky, your host. You can follow me at all the Shoky and Shoky reviews related things in the description down below. Mike, the Comic Relief Crusader, is not here this week. He busted his ass all week at work and is more than likely still kind of sleeping. So, we had to record early this week.
Come on, dude. There was a perfect setup for a Canadian hibernating. Like, it was all just sitting right there and you fucked it up, man.
I don't make those jokes. You make the Canadian jokes.
Yeah, but you blew right through it. You didn't even give me time to push into polar bears or anything.
I don't care what kind of bears you want to push into, but that's not my business.
Hey, on a Friday night, get enough Jameson into me.
Hey, go for the koalas, except be aware they have gonorrhea.
They are vicious.
They all have gonorrhea.
Oh, yeah.
Which is weird. Also, I didn't get through comments on the last episode, but it's okay. Just real quick, I'm from episode 15, running up that hill to catch the moose train. Jason said, I love Firebirds and Stealth. Love the conversation. You guys speak my language. See, someone else who has actually seen the Nicolas Cage movie Firebirds. And then Jan Goza says, happy wife, happy life. I will tell you, no, that's not the case. Although I did eventually.
Definitely not the case.
I definitely got her to calm down, and then we went down to the pool. But exactly what you said last week, dude. She's gonna say, no, we're not going now. Because
that's what she did. Didn't
she literally did that. I had to 30 minutes to convince her to go down to the pool.
Let me revamp everything. All these ladies out here running around talking about we're equal and da da da. We should all be treated the same. Well, then I'm here to vote out the fucking happy wife, happy life bullshit and input happy spouse, happy house, because it matters whether we're happy too. Ask my wife. She'd be miserable if I'm in a bad mood.
Well, yeah, but whenever you're shitty, nobody wants.
It's because I'm an asshole, but if she's shitty, it's because I'm an asshole. So I mean, not really equal if you think about it.
So your shittiness causes her shittiness, and then everyone should run. Is what's happening here. So
especially with my wife, because she's literally like the nicest, sweetest lady in the world. So when she gets pissed off, I've really fucked up.
Exactly.
Everybody's catching strays that day.
And of course, Ricky's here.
What up, yo?
He does the promo videos for Nerd Rage Radio, so of course we always have to shout out Nerd Rage on every single episode. We'll never get away from it. It's fine.
Never. And why would we ever want to? It's an amazing show with an amazing cast.
Hey, cool I had an email that got read on this week's Nerd Rage, so yay.
Nice.
Because I wrote into them. And they're still
you know what the mess up thing is? I work for the guy and I talk with him all the time and friends with him and shit like that. And I've only ever written to the show one time.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you talk to him all the time, there's no reason to write in.
That's the thing is I can just reach out and talk to him and be like, hey, what do you think about such and such?
Yeah, it's like you have direct access to all the members of the cast, so there's no reason to write into the thing unless you want everyone to know what's going on.
It's like in dead ass serious. Like I'm gonna turn on my camera so you guys can see it. But I'm literally talking to Pinkerton right now while we're fucking doing this show. Like I'm in Messenger talking to him at the same exact time.
Oh, so I see how it is.
I don't need to write in the
I
emails.
see how it is. Actually, we should have just had Pinkerton come on then. Jerry, you're out. We're gonna get Pinkerton.
Yeah, and it might have been a good mood. Or we could have Pinkerton also have Jerry and Pinkerton.
Yeah, I mean we could. We could just pop him in later if he's available. But you know he's got to come through Discord and all that nonsense. Either way, we do have a guest today filling in for Mike. This is Jerry over here.
How's it going?
I know technically I did an intro earlier, but I don't know if that's going to actually remain in the full episode. So got to do the intro again now. So either way, Jerry is actually just tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So it all started when I was 12. I'm kidding.
Dude, this guy had the best mic check too, man. We got to get him to do his mic check on here. No. That shit was awesome. You had me cracking up.
No, I'm mostly model builder. I don't know what to say really. Just well,
because this crowd doesn't know who you are because most people from the Shoky channels don't listen to this podcast. So like, you're one of the few people who I know outside of this, but also because of YouTube. You know,
we've officially crossed streams, folks.
Yes. So Jerry,
crossover episode.
Yeah, so Jerry was kind of a Shoky subscriber and also a local Texan, and then I believe it's because we were either in the same Gundam group or because of my first contest, or at least one of them that we met.
Yeah, he was one of the. You were talking about it last week. You told us about the.
Well, no, that's the latest one
and all that. Yeah.
He was in the latest contest for sure.
But you just talked about it last week, so that's an easy tie back to him.
Yeah,
he was one of the guys.
First contest I was in was so like technically the
you participated in Balls for Balls
contest. No, I came in MS 101.
Okay, I thought you weren't there for Lupus.
No, it was like right before I hopped into the Discord.
Okay, I couldn't remember which contest you participated in. Did you judge one year?
No.
Okay, I thought I did.
I judge constantly.
Well, I'm trying to remember because I mean it's been like 5 years since I've been doing the contest and we missed 1 year. So there was Lupus.
I'm judging you right now.
I don't care. There was Lupus for Lupus, Balls for Balls, the MS 101. You
didn't go Loopy for Lupus? Come on, it was sitting right there.
No, because it's Lupus, the Gundam for Lupus, the disease.
Nice.
So, yes.
I like that. See,
yes.
But I got that reference, but people not ever having watched Gundam wouldn't have got that reference.
And then Balls for Balls, you built a ball, which is a mobile, not a mobile suit, but a mobile, not armor. What do they call it?
I think it's just,
it's mobile pod. I think is what they call it, just a mobile pod. Either way, so that it's a small pod with arms and guns on it, and that was for testicular cancer. So that was Balls for Balls, which did get shadow banned by YouTube. It's like almost nobody participated because they couldn't see it because I had balls in the title, so YouTube was shadow banning it. And then there was the MS1.
Yeah, the ball is classified as a support mobile pod.
Yeah, it's just a mobile pod. Yeah. But then floating coffin, basically.
Much.
And then there was the MS100, the first one, which did kind of well, and then the most recent MS100. So, either way, so yeah, and Jerry was basically available. It's like
don't play it down. He's actually cool enough to say yes, so we appreciate.
Yes, no, he said yes and jumped in literally within a minute. So
he hacked our shit. He jumped in without permission and everything. It was crazy. Yeah. Like we were middle of trashing him, and then like all of a sudden Jerry was there.
Apparently,
what the fuck?
Apparently I need to fix the permissions within the group because he literally got the invite and just jumped straight into the chat, and I was like, that's not supposed to happen.
We were just showing each other our nipples on camera. It was really weird.
That's not true.
That's not true. That's what all that whooshing around was when I got it.
Yep, you almost caught us, dude. But we're good. We're good at this. We've been hiding it for years.
Yep. So I think we had I don't say we had a short week, technically speaking. It was Sunday to Saturday, but like very briefly go through our weeks because we do have a couple main topics to talk about because we never got around to talking about the boys or Kenobi. So,
But the problem is now we have Jerry who hasn't watched either.
yeah, but he's okay without spoilers.
We're gonna spoil the fuck out of this. I'm not spoiling the conversation. You bring it up, I'm spoiling everything, yo.
That's what I'm saying. We'll just talk about. If he doesn't care, we'll talk about it.
Vader kills Obi-Wan. Y'all go fuck yourselves.
He does.
Oh, next you're gonna tell me that there's 8 movies, 4 series, and like 7 fan films after Kenobi.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's just within the MCU.
And also Luke and Leia, brother and sisters, and they totally hooked up.
In one script they did.
I have to say is his hand isn't blood related.
This is also true. Yep. Actually, the funny thing is, Ricky, you missed a tick there because all you had to say was that he kills Obi-Wan in Episode 4, and the people really
no. I left it. I left it open for a reason.
Yes, I know, but if you said Episode 4, they'd been like, really of the show? No, in the movies.
No, the show is Part 4.
Yeah, it's Episode 4.
It drives me nuts. No, it literally says Part 4.
Yeah, because it didn't want
Episode 4.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about Kenobi, the boys, and something extra. For the most part, because it came up last week right at the end, but we didn't have a chance to talk about it. So I'm caught up on all the TV shows except for Miss Marvel. I did not watch the latest episode.
I told you I'm not even bothering. Once it's all out, I'll go back and watch it.
I might. I don't know. We'll see. There's other stuff I've been watching. What was the other thing I watched earlier this week? Something on Netflix. Oh, I got through Love, Death, and Robots. I think I only have one episode left. I went back and started watching it from the beginning after discovering that I was watching it in reverse. Which, I mean, it's an anthology series, so there's not a real order to it, except for like a couple episodes that are sequels. Like season 3 has a sequel to something from season 1 with the same characters and a continuity of the story. So, like, if you watch that backwards, you'd be real confused. And so, what the fuck? I was like, wait, that's not how we ended this. How did this get here? So
I mean, you have half a brain, you can figure it out inside your head too.
Yeah, but if you also never,
I watched the original trilogy backwards, so
that's pretty stupid.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose, motherfucker. I was like 4.
You watched Return of the Jedi first?
Yep.
And then Empire?
Well, actually, the first Star Wars I ever saw was Ewok Adventure. Then it went backwards from there.
Oh, I never saw that.
You are half-ass Star Wars fans. Those are the
best.
I
never claimed to be a full Star Wars fan. I've got however much ass I've developed from watching all of it, you know? So, 3/4 ass for all I know. So,
was it, do you remember that old movie, 10th Kingdom?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my God, you need to find it and watch it. It was like a miniseries on TV, but they talk about the village idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, how did he put it? Not half-assed, but it was something like that. It was like, I'm half an idiot. One day I'll be a full idiot.
I have previously referred to as only using quarter ass to get something done. It's just like I'm half-assing this. It's quarter ass at best.
I'm 1/32nding this ass.
Oh, so you're Elizabeth Warrening it. Anyways,
I guess I don't even know who that is.
Some people will get that joke. Either way, so Love, Death, and Robots, crazy series, amazing visuals, some really fucked up writing. You can tell a lot of these people are anime enthusiasts just by the way it goes. There is some live action, so it's not all 100% animated. There's an episode in the first season that is
the one with Michael B. Jordan where they cell shaded him or something.
No, that's
that same show.
No, that's something else.
Okay,
that's what is that show? I know which one you're talking about, but that's an actual series. It's also on Netflix, and I've just gone blank. I know it's something.
Oh, you're good. Don't get off track of what you were talking about.
Either way, so
first season. Sorry.
It's very gruesome. A lot of death. A lot of insane imagery, especially when it comes to some of the more alien type things. There's some like Matrixy kind of stuff. Then there's just like normal anime tropes. Generally speaking, but it's a cool show. I recommend it for sure. If nothing else, it's incredibly pretty. Like there's just gorgeous animation on screen, whether it's hand drawn, CG, or whatever. And then, like I said, I know there's something else I watched, and I'm drawing a blank on what it is. I know what it was. We started watching the final comedy special, if you want to call it that, for Norm Macdonald on Netflix. It was his secret.
Oh, the tribute one.
Yeah, I mean, we started watching it. We got maybe about 15 minutes into it, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I do really like Norm Macdonald, but to watch somebody basically just reading their material with no audience, nobody reacting to it is really difficult. Like, honestly, turned it off. It's like, I'm gonna have to be in a different mood for this, and I think I'd rather watch at the end where it is a tribute from his friends who have seen it. So, you know, I just, after everything going on yesterday, I just wanted to laugh last night, and so we turned that off and actually turned on the new Bill Burr Netflix as a joke kind of. It's not a full special, but it's like it's got a group of people all coming up, you know, doing different bits, and that was fucking hilarious. So we didn't finish watching it because I had to start a live stream. But definitely funny as shit. I don't necessarily agree with Bill Burr on some of his political takes, but he still makes shit I disagree with funny. So that's how I know that he's a real fucking comedian. It's like I can completely disagree with his point and still fucking laugh at it, you know? It's like I literally said to the wife, I was like, I'm fucking angry about what he said, but I'm laughing my ass off. I was like, it's like, that's a fucking artist right there. So that's worth watching. There's a few people that were like, oh God, why did they let this person on stage? It was like full cringeworthy, funny, but all cringe. And then there's some classics, some really fucking old school comedians that come involved that are just fucking hilarious as well. So definitely worth a watch. I did get the newest and final train bot from Moon Studios. Got that yesterday.
Ooh.
Me too.
Yep. So FedEx.
Well, I got mine the day before, but yeah, I got the last one too.
So FedEx actually got it here one day faster than I thought they could. So that was good. So I will be reviewing the last 3 of them probably Monday. And then, you know, that would be the most stressful day of my life, trying to get those fucking things to combine properly. Because the one thing, I have not shot any of the combiner form. Like some reviewers will shoot all 3 forms when they do the reviews. I did not do the combine form at all because I knew that I was going to be getting there eventually. So I'm going to have to shoot all of their combined form transformations along with, so behind the scenes shit here. So right now everybody's in robot mode. So I'm going to do all robot mode comparisons across the board for the final 3 reviews. I'm going to transform all of them into fucking train mode so that when I get that far, I can do all the train mode comparisons, and not to mention actually show all of them in full train mode where they're all linked together. Because you brought that up a few weeks ago. So yes, I'm going to do that.
Just be careful with it, because I know like on my blue one, the Moon Knight one, where that clip goes on the front of it, those are actually 2 separate pieces.
I know.
And when I tried to take the clip off, it actually scraped that white paint that's on the front of it.
Oh, that's
super fucking tight.
That's the least of my worries, because I actually broke 2 of those clips so far. Just trying to take them off. Yeah, they just broke. Like, not the train part. The actual fucking clip part that clips on actually broke off. So hopefully I have enough that I can make the full train just for the fucking review and just be happy. So, and then after that, I have to do all the combined forms and then do the combined video to show off the whole Radiatron combiner. So I'm excited about that, but it's going to be a very long day. Anytime I have to do, like when I did the Toy World Devastator, I did all of that in one day. So that was each individual bot, every comparison, every transformation. Teach your way through
it, man. Imgo's got the Just Transform It videos out for all of them. Just pull them up and he'll walk you through them in like 2 seconds.
No, I mean, I don't have that problem. It's just filming it. It's not knowing how to do it. I know how to do it. It's the filming of it is a pain in the ass. You know, it's like a lot of, you know, you see a lot of these reviewers and they edited down the transformation. It's like pretty much, you know, it's like, but they're cutting out all of the nonsense that they've dealt with. I mean, I'm sure you've seen that with Bobby's reviews. You know, he will cut between some things, but then he'll also leave in when he struggles. I don't usually cut anything unless I'm fucking wandering for like 5 minutes, stuck on something, and then I'll cut it to like, okay, now we're here. But
dude, speaking of Devastator, did you see the what's it called, Tonkatron?
Yeah, I did see that. You see how much they wanted for that motherfucker?
Not yet. but
$108 for a G1 repaint.
oh,
Well, the thing is that when they first re-released that G1 at Walmart, it was $100.
yeah.
Which is nuts to me to think that they can get away with that.
Oh yeah,
People
it's
buy-
stupid.
I waited till it was on sale on BBTS. I have it up there with my Toy World Debbie.
Yeah, I picked it up. I picked it up when it was on sale at Walmart for $50. So
I think that's what I got mine for, like $49.99 or some shit like that.
yeah, exactly. And then I ended up selling it to a buddy for like $80, and then turn around and buying the.
He's a real buddy. He's like, I only charged him double what I paid for it. He's my buddy.
Oh, hey! Since we're in the middle of in our week, baby just got her new swimsuit from Amazon. So wait,
Hey, show her the picture. Show her the picture. Show her the picture I sent you.
And this one actually.
Like, here, Ricky said, go have fun at the pool.
The boobies.
Hold on, baby. I can't. They're talking. What?
It actually has like.
It actually has the built-in kind of bra thing, unlike your other one. Where did you send it? In the chat or the?
Yeah, the podcast chat.
On Facebook or on
Messenger.
Okay. Ricky wanted to hold on. Ricky wanted me to show you his pool and say, "Go have fun at the pool," because you yelled at me last week.
Oh.
Also, so
Now it's 105 degrees outside.
Tell her y'all are invited. Anytime you want to come over, y'all can jump in the pool.
well, we're planning on coming to Florida in October, so we'll see you then.
There you go. Come jump in the pool, man.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. Why did my Amazon come this morning, but your Amazon came this afternoon?
I don't know.
Because hers is better.
No, mine came this morning.
Yeah, nobody cares about yours.
My show's still going. I gotta rewind it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go do that. So the other thing is I did read. Sorry, I read through most of the IDW, the Transformers IDW collection, Volume 1.
Nice.
So I read through most of that, which is interesting because it's mostly one-offs, or at least parts of stories of introduction to different characters at that point.
That was a lot of spotlight ones, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of the spotlights. And here's the best thing about Amazon. You know, you talked about getting them on BBTS. Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
I ordered Volume 2 yesterday. It got delivered this morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it was on sale. So it was only like $40.
Yeah, that depends. Like sometimes that happens with Amazon for me because there's a big hub just about 45 minutes south of me. So if
Same
it's
here.
in that warehouse, I'll get it like next day. Fuck 2-day delivery. But
Yeah,
if it's not in that warehouse, it might take a week.
Yeah, apparently it's in the big Houston hub because if it's coming in the next day, that's insane. So I'm going to start reading that too. You know, I think, I don't know how far I'm going to go into these. I'm interested in the IDW stories, but it's so different compared to other collections, which are whole stories, where this is like not in chronological order, not technically entire stories. It's like, well, at least so far, it's just spotlights. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this compared to some
I
of the
think
other
it
collections.
picks up
I've got.
like volume 2, like it actually does. I think the biggest thing it does is it flips back and forth, like between robots in disguise and More Than Meets the Eye.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different series.
Yeah,
and
you'll
this-
get like one from that one and one from that one, but then they go in order back and forth like that, or some nonsense like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember if they
if-
put them all together.
If it eventually does that, I'll be happy. It's just right now, it's non-continuous storytelling.
And just stop at the Windblade covered one.
Yeah. So that's all the way in phase 3. So that's still
Yeah,
a
it's
ways
like phase
off.
3, part 9 or some shit.
No, it's I don't think that one's part
It's like once you get past
9.
the Combiner Wars parts, it starts going downhill.
Yeah,
And then when Windblade shows up, it's okay for like a little bit, and then all of a sudden it takes a hard left.
Yeah. There's some cool stories that I've read so far, like because a lot of it's building up to the Great War, as it were.
Does that one have the cup spotlight in it?
If it does, I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
Because what was the one I just finished? Not Cliffjumper, not Ratchet. Which one was this one? I just read one about Soundwave.
Is that the one where before he actually looked like Soundwave, like where he was all depressed and shit? Living in the
No,
street?
that's the one I want to read. That's got to be in here somewhere. But this is one. This is on Earth, and he's investigating.
This is where he's frozen as the tape
yes,
player. Like
it's how he got
okay.
frozen in the tape player. I think
Okay.
that's where I left off. I'm trying to remember because it's a multi-part story. Some of them are multi-part. Like there's a couple issues thrown together. Like the Megatron Origins, that was a couple issues all thrown together, so that was a fun way to start, that kind of things. The Cliffjumper one was awesome, I'm not gonna lie. That was fucking great. You know, he ends up on a random planet. You know,
Yeah,
and
where he has to fight his way back out again.
yeah, he like stays on this farm. It's kind of like Shane, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, so he lies to the girl and her son, You know, he said, "Look, I'm the good guy. You know, I'm trying to hide off from the bad guys. I just need to get my shit together, and then I can get out of here safely." And then, of course, the Decepticons find him. And
DJD found him, or was that
no,
was
this
like,
was just random fucking
like Thundercracker in them?
yeah. It wasn't even the Seekers. It was like no name people, because he spoilers for an old ass Transformers
Yeah,
comic.
for like a 15-year-old comic. Go fuck
so
yourself, guys.
I love the part where like they sent he's hiding in the trees. They've got the family hostage. They send 3 Decepticons into the trees to go find him. And the kid's like, "It's okay, you know, he's a good guy. He's good. He'll be fine." And like yeah. It's like, "What does he look like?" It's like, "Well, he's small." It's like, "Is he?" Or it's like, I think he said he's
flipped
red.
out once they figured out.
Yeah, when they figured out it was Cliff Jumper, they freaked the fuck out.
Rambo on him.
Yeah, and then he's like, he comes out, busts out his weapons, and just kills all of them and takes their fucking ship.
Yeah,
It's like, god damn.
Good.
It's like
that one, the cup one, and I want to say it was the drift spotlight. Those are like my favorite ones out of that whole.
I can't wait to get to the drift story because I know about it and I want to actually read it. So
yeah, it's actually really interesting.
yeah, his whole thing about how he becomes drift
stuff,
essentially is good. So either way,
Good
I think that's it for me. Not a whole lot this week, realistically. So, Ricky, you want to go first, or you want?
No,
our
let Jerry.
guest?
He's the guest. Let him run in there.
So basically, you know, if you've gotten anything you've been watching, or that you got in, or that you've been working on, you know, by all means, Jerry.
So got in this week. Got in one of my Grail kits that I've been looking for. On the 2002, not even a 2000 Master Grade New Gundam.
Nice. That's an old kit. Damn.
Oh yeah, I got it for, let's say, 65 before shipping.
Nice.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
So people are asking about between 120 and 150 for it.
Damn.
Yeah, it literally just had the first print run, and that was it.
Okay, that makes sense why people want it so bad. Is that why the Verka was such a big deal?
Yes, because it's like it's the Verka, the MG 1.0, for lack of a better term, then an old non-grade from like 88.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other than that, I've just been working on
Still working on the Mustang?
Yep, 66 Shelby still. Almost done. Hopefully I can start painting like tomorrow night.
And that's for the Mecha Apocalypse.
Yeah, his car group build.
Card. Yep. Yeah, I'm not technically participating in that. I just have an Ecto 1 sitting around partially unfinished.
I mean, it'll work.
Yeah, but I have no timeline on when the rest of the parts will get here. It's not like I can just knock it out, you know. It's like, so in like 6 months I'll have it done. I'll just say, "Here." And it's not customized in any way. I just assembled it.
Yeah, so my wife just messaged me. Sorry to interrupt y'all. She just killed a scorpion in our dining room underneath the table.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Little
And
bark scorpion.
Dude, I killed dude, in my entire life. I've never seen this before. It was a cicada killer wasp.
Ooh,
This thing was as big as my fucking thumb. I never seen one this big before. It got inside our screened-in porch, man. I stepped on that motherfucker 3 times, and he was still moving.
Yeah.
That was a huge bitch. It was big as my his body. Just his body was the size of like my full size lighter, like a big lighter.
I've seen him.
Huge. I've never seen them that big before.
Yep. They happen. What kind of scorpion? Just some little bush?
We have little brown ones that come in. They like to slide underneath the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
We have big ones out here and stuff like, because we live on a greenway, so we get like I see rattlesnakes and shit come out of there all the time. But the scorpions we get are usually pretty little. She said this one was about 2 inches body wise.
Yeah, little bark scorpion. No big deal.
The little brown ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't gonna kill you. Generally.
Sorry. Back to your thing, Jerry. I just got that message. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, not been working on too much. Just been buying paint because it looks pretty, and that's about it.
Been watching anything?
Been keeping up with Miss Marvel. Finally finished Attack on Titan like a week ago.
Thoughts without spoilers on Attack on Titan. so far because
Dig it.
it's not over.
Dig it. But the thing that annoys me the most, and I've noticed more and more people, like companies doing this,
Uh-huh.
is instead of just being like, "Ooh, it's chapters or seasons 4, 5, and 6,"
They just number them all.
it's like chapter season
Episode 89.
season 3, part 89.
Yeah, why
second?
Why put the season number but then put the episode number? That gets confusing because it's not season 3 episode 89. It's just episode 89. You know?
Yeah.
That is I agree with you on that. That is kind of silly.
And it's like, why have 3 seasons if they're all going to be one season?
So
It's no worse. It's no worse than calling movies episodes and the TV shows parts. So,
well, it's only weird because they put episode or they put season, but then they don't say it's season 3 episode 4. They say it's season 3 episode 89 because
I got you. They break it up
yeah.
into seasons, but they're giving the overall.
They give you the overall
episode
numbers.
count.
Yeah, it's silly,
Yeah.
but
I
okay.
think,
So
wasn't Gurren Lagann was like that too, wasn't it? It was actually 2 seasons, but they just ran it as one big huge thing.
yeah, in a
Yeah.
way, it was just 2 parts. You know, we talked about that before.
Well,
So wait, do you know where the story is going, or have you only ever checked out the anime?
I know a buddy of mine told me how it ends.
Yeah.
I want to say a while back. I just don't remember.
Okay, good. Forget how it ends, because that way you'll be at least somewhat surprised. It's like, because I know how it ends. I'm just waiting to. A lot of people obviously know how it ends. The manga's been done for years, so it's
Yeah.
like we all just want to see it animated. We want to see the final ridiculous showdown that should be in like the last 6 or
Do you
7
think they're
episodes.
gonna follow the manga to the point like that with the show?
They
or do you
have
think
been.
They're gonna try to make their own bit.
No. It's been pretty tight. Like they don't really change anything. They just kind of streamline it a little bit, and the animation is significantly better than the manga drawings are, but the story has been the same. Like there's not much tweaking it. It's just fucking do it. They've only seemingly in the last quote unquote season, they only altered a couple things just to kind of keep a reveal back. That's about the only thing I know that they changed. So instead of a bigger reveal right up front, they kind of held it back a little bit. So you still got it. They just held on to it. And also, obviously within the comics, things don't have a sense of time, whereas in the TV show you actually sit there and hear a particular thing happening for like 4 episodes straight. You know, without spoiling. You know, so it gives you a concept of time passing. You know, you see the sun rising and falling and still hearing the same thing. You're like, what the fuck? You know, in the comics, the manga, you would have a much harder time conveying that. So either way, I can't wait for that final part to drop. I'm just annoyed that we have to wait however much longer for it.
Like another year.
Is it going to be that long? I figured they would hit it by Christmas.
Summer 2023.
God damn, why? What are they doing with their lives? They have one thing to animate.
Because it's funnier.
Or it's a COVID problem. Oh, I did forget to mention in my week, I did burn the fuck out of the inside of my mouth on a burrito. And it's like, and it's not in like
First world Texas problems.
and it's not like it's not like the roof of my mouth. It was like all along the inner gum line of my molars in the back.
Whoa.
So I couldn't chew worth the shit on that side because it burned so fucking bad. But like it's hurting.
lava.
It's like hurting my mouth because I've been compensating.
Was it a legit burrito or did you get a gas station?
It's a
burrito
gas
over
station
microwave it?
burrito. I wish a legit burrito wouldn't be nuclear hot.
Yeah,
You know,
over
so-
microwaved it. That's why I figured it had
Yeah.
to be a gas station one.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, technically it was a chimichanga. You know, it was deep fried. But either way, they call it a burrito because
The
nobody
crunch.
wants to spell chimichanga.
The crunchiness makes it better.
It does. In fact,
Amen.
grease makes everything better as well.
So does bacon.
Well, the bacon grease also makes things better.
Mm,
That's why I
Because
love
that's why the later bacon is better, because now the later bacon is frying in the grease of the previous thing. What the hell? Why is another person popping in right now?
oh, Mike's here. What's up, Mike?
Because you've angered the karma gods, and this is your punishment.
You didn't have to be here. You were excused. We figured you were asleep.
Well, I like to make what we call that fashionable late entrance.
Yes. Well, you've just made everything worse.
Now you made it awkward.
That's right. Hence
What's
the
up,
name
Mike?
of our podcast.
How's
I
it
got
going?
coffee
How's
and
it going? Night shift.
and I'm semi ready to rock.
Yeah.
An hour and 4 minutes into the podcast, Mike shows up.
Even better that now I made it awkward.
Actually, it might be good considering how we started the show out. That probably would have made that significantly longer. Either
There
way,
you go. Perfect timing, in other words.
yes.
Yes.
So, are you watching anything else, Jerry? You said
Oh,
Miss
Mike,
Marvel.
Jerry, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, Jerry, Mike.
It's me, Jim.
Jerry was covering. What are your thoughts on Miss Marvel so far, Jerry?
I dig it. I will say episode 1 felt like an early 2000s original Disney movie.
I thought Nickelodeon, but yeah.
Yeah. I will say best character in the entire show is Abu, her dad.
Yeah,
Gold.
I agree. I like her dad.
You name anyone else who's just like, what? Cover myself in body paint and wear this outfit for like 10 seconds? You got it.
The Green Indian Hulk. That was awesome.
That was ridiculous.
Pakistani Hulk.
Yeah, either way, Pakistani Hulk, Muslim Hulk. We'll just call it that.
Nope.
Yeah, they're a Muslim.
Yeah.
They're Muslim. That's fine.
Yeah, but his outfit was Pakistani, not his religion.
Well, either way, the point is.
But
I don't think it, but yeah, that was funny that he did that for like 5 seconds in there. I haven't seen the latest episode. I've only seen the first 2. I do want to check it out just because I'm like, well, now that Kenobi is over, I gotta watch something at the moment. And,
Now that Kenobi's over, I'm gonna just rewatch Kenobi.
just gonna rewatch
Will
Kenobi.
say-
It's okay.
episode 3, there is a very deep cut throwaway reference to like early Marvel advertising that if no one points it out, you're not gonna notice it.
I'm sure that one of the 3 or 4 channels I watch that explains to me all the things I've missed will bring it up.
Yeah.
It's like, whether that's Screen Crush or New Rock Stars or the other guy who makes fun of Screen Crush. Yeah, either way.
Screen Crusher.
Screen Crusher. No, it's Heavy Spoilers. Heavy Spoilers makes fun of Ryan Airy from Screen Crush in every episode. I find it funny. It's because he usually puts out his video first and then Ryan will come later, so he makes sure he gets in a dig at Ryan Airy every single time. Also, this is the first time we had 4 people on the podcast. I mean, well,
See,
three plus whatever Mike is. Mike's not complete
Half
right
a
now.
person at this moment.
Well,
Yeah.
the conversion rate from Canadian to US, he's 7/8 of a person.
Something like that.
So it's 3 7/8.
Which is
What
great
is-
because I can lose the weight.
Well, I mean,
What is that with tax included?
well, I was going to
What's the
say that's
shipping
not
cost?
adjusted for
Yeah.
inflation
Yeah, that's true.
or
So,
import
damn it,
fees.
damn it. Back to 8/8.
Yeah, you're 9/8 at this point. It costs us too much to get you in here.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
right.
what
yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Fuel costs as well, you know.
yeah. It's actually 10/8 at this point. That's what inflation does. It's going up every minute.
It's right.
Yeah.
Just
All right. So since you're here at almost the right time, go ahead and give us a quick synopsis of your week because we do have 2 hefty topics to get through.
yeah, well,
And we're gonna be
Watched,
talking Kenobi boys, and we're gonna be talking about the Ezra Miller situation. So that let you know where we're gonna go.
oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys is pretty good so far. I'm pleasantly pleased with how that whole show is going. You know,
Would you
it's
say
just-
you're Herogasmic?
yeah.
Please don't say that.
Like, wow.
We'll talk about it
Damn.
more. We'll talk about it more.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to give any spoilers right away, but oh boy, never open doors in a place.
Oh
you've
God.
never been to.
Oh God.
So
Either way,
yeah.
yes. Oh God.
always knock first. That's why it's important to knock, folks. So
Oh God.
yeah, Miss Marvel, I'm thinking, yeah, this is pretty much mainly a kind of a teeny bopper show
Well,
in
yeah.
a way.
It's a teeny bopper show made for 40-year-old men.
Yeah, but boy, did it get the lowest viewing ratings like of any Marvel show. So wow, and I can almost see why in a way. Yeah, watch the rest of the dumpster fire that is Kenobi, in my opinion. Although the ending fight scene was pretty good, but I hated the shaky cam.
We'll talk about it.
Everything everywhere at once. I think I might have mentioned
You talked about that last week.
I did, yeah. Okay, so
You haven't slept much this week.
no, I have not. So, God, yeah, I think that's pretty much primarily
Your first week back on the job.
Yeah, I know. Wow, I'm amazed I actually survived like a whole night shift. Oh, and I was just about to, like yesterday before I went to work, I was just about to watch Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, but I never got around to it.
Yeah, we never got around to talking about that because I posted the trailer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And of course it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, of course, right? So it's like crap. But I managed to attain it by other means. So so I'm good with that.
There's a particular bay that was visited.
Maybe
Ships involved.
Or that's right. A certain type of
he went to
bay that I visited.
Mike.
To.
He went to
Mike.
He went to video port.
What is a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
No, it's
Incorrect.
C.
Most people think it's the R, but it's actually the C.
Oh,
got him.
Stupid.
But
jokes. What was I gonna say? Oh, so question for everyone here on the panel: did you see the original Beavis and Butthead movie in the theater or other? If you've seen it at all,
Beavis and Butthead Do America?
Yeah.
No, I saw it at home.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it at home.
Forget what year
Blockbuster,
does that
baby.
come out?
Like 96, 97?
Sir, I was 2 years old when that came out.
Oh my fucking God! Send this kid to bed. Get him the fuck out of here. What are
Jerry's a
doing?
baby.
Jesus, I was like a senior in high school. Get the fuck out of here! You're talking about 2 years old.
Now, like I feel
Hold
like
on.
a grandparent.
Now I want to look it up.
This
Give me
is-
just a second. Let me Google it real
I don't want to say it's
quick.
like 96, 97, but the Red Hot Chili Peppers versions of Roller Coaster of Love is still one of my favorite things to listen to. Like when I'm in like a little fucking mood, I'll put that on, and that shit gets me so hyped up and in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yep, 1996. So we actually
Ricky was right. Nice.
Yeah, so we actually went to go see this for me and my buddy Ray. It was his birthday was one day after mine. So we went to go see it for our like 13th. Yeah, 13th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was great. Greatest thing ever. No, obviously
Wasn't that movie rated R? How the fuck did you slip into that at 13?
Pretty sure it was PG-13. Wasn't rated R. Because there's no
Pretty sure it was rated R. You better
Maybe
watch it. Look at it again.
I don't know. We went and saw it. Don't ask
It
me.
was
We
the
went and saw it in the
90s.
theater.
Rules relaxed.
PG-13, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it was only PG-13. I feel like it should have been a rated R.
I mean, it was 96. You know, the rules
Oh, there you
changed
go.
later. But I mean, like, there's no boobs. There's no real violence. Well, I mean, there's a little, but I mean, just crude humor and shit like that. But it's not terrible.
Yeah,
South Park was worse.
Oh.
So we went and saw
yeah.
South
Yeah,
Park.
bigger, longer, and uncut. Just the title made it a rated R movie.
I mean, we went and saw that when I was 16 because we actually drove my dad's truck because I didn't have my own vehicle yet. And coming back from the movie theater, which is actually the same movie theater we still go to see movies in right now.
You know what? I actually still have the movie cup and popcorn bag from the South Park movie.
Wow.
I
That's
do.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say,
I don't know why,
on
but
a-
I figured maybe it might be worth something one day.
to somebody. Just get Mike Judge to sign it. Not Mike Judge, sorry, Beavis and Butthead. Get Matt and Trey to sign it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, on our way back from the theater, my dad's truck stalled out on the railroad tracks.
Like directly on the railroad track?
Yeah, directly on the railroad
wow.
tracks. Because the front, it wasn't paying attention to the fuel gauge because it had 2 tanks. So I was looking at the one tank, not the other. So literally conked out, and we stalled out on the railroad tracks, which was on a bit of a hill. And I was like, fuck. You know, one of the earlier times I was trusted to go drive my dad's truck, and now we're on the fucking railroad tracks.
Yeah, gonna get hit by train. Yeah.
What are you showing us, Ricky?
The swimming pool,
Why? There's no naked
so you
ladies
could be
around it.
jealous.
Okay, should I show
You
you?
don't know what's off camera.
I'm semi-jealous.
I mean, we have a swimming pool right here, like 200 feet away.
Yeah, mine's 2 feet away. Eat a dick.
Yeah, but it's like several thousand miles from me, so it doesn't do anything.
Actually, it was accidental because I was trying to show you that I was on the back porch, and then it was already flipped around. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna show him the pool."
We know you're on the porch. Oh, you're guessing Mike didn't know. We knew that though.
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't
wait,
know
no.
I was in my office. I
No, you
literally
sent
just
the
moved out
picture
here while y'all were
earlier.
talking about Beavis and Butthead.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And miraculously, I don't care.
Yeah. Nobody cares. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jerry? You were trying to come in and say something.
So unfortunately, I have to step out.
Okay.
Oh,
It was fun.
Yeah.
Just quickly before I go, Ricky, they did confirm that Michael Keaton's Batman is going to stick around in the Supergirl movie they were working on. If that still happens, who knows?
Supergirl movie.
interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was fun. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Jerry,
in.
thanks
Jerry.
for coming
Nice
on,
to meet
man.
ya.
Come back in the future. Now that you see how we all talk, you got to beef yourself up some so you yell across the top of us, dude.
Well, he's been involved
Alright.
in many of my multi people streams, so he's
We appreciate you being in here, and thanks too for doing the things with Shoky with the builds and stuff. That's really nice that you jumped in and did those.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be as involved in this community as I am.
Don't pump his
Nice.
fucking head up. We got to deal with him. after you leave.
also
Fucking
he
do
wouldn't be as good at painting now if it wasn't for me.
Oh, see what I'm fucking saying now? Oh my fucking god! By the
tell
end of
me
it,
I'm
he's gonna be
wrong.
like, he learned his alphabet because of me. Get the fuck
Tell
out
me
of
I'm-
here.
Tell me
Thank
I'm
you,
wrong, Jerry.
Sensei, for teaching little
Oh,
grasshopper.
oh,
to paint.
great and mighty Shoky.
You are the great Miyagi-san.
But Jerry, jokes aside, man, we appreciate you coming, dude. We
Yeah,
thank
nice
you
to
for
meet ya.
stepping in.
Again, nice to meet you. Y'all have a safe day.
All right.
All
Later,
right,
bud.
you too, brother. Hopefully you come back in the future, man. Just tell Shoky you want to come back home.
Sounds good.
All right, dude.
All right. Later.
Love you, cha-cha.
Oh yeah, you forgot to tell him to say bye.
It's okay. He doesn't have to. Well, yeah, it's like he doesn't know to just abruptly say "K bye" and leave without any warning.
Oh, yeah.
Either way.
Next time.
So that was a perfectly good segue for Jerry to go. That's okay. Yeah, I guess he had to go do family stuff. That happens sometimes.
He's a cool guy, man. I like him.
Yeah,
But
Jerry's
he's
cool.
quiet. He seemed like he was. I feel like he was afraid to step on our toes and stuff. But
Nah,
he
just
was nice. Like
he doesn't know where
funny,
to
dude.
jump in. It's fine.
He had me laughing so hard before we started recording.
Oh, Jerry's funny.
This kid, he had me cracking up. Dude.
I mean, Jerry, I know him and trust him enough that he's my main mod in the Shoky Discord. So
Nice.
he he's run the Shoky Discord essentially for a couple of years.
Oh, now you can also remember you talk about I do the NRR stuff. That's a new one I forgot to tell you too.
Hmm.
I'm a moderator in the Discord now.
Oh, good for you.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah.
Congrats. I forgot about that.
I never pop into that Discord. I've got too many things going on myself. I never even look at my own fucking Discord.
You hear that, Bobby? He's too good for us.
Well, not too good. I just forget to go check. I pop in
Oh.
every now and then. What?
You know what?
Hey, I'm the world's laziest fucking admin though. Like when Phoenix hit me up and asked me if I wanted to do it, he posted in there. He's like, "Hey guys, Ricky's an admin now, so if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up." And I literally commented back. I'm like, "I'm gonna tell y'all stupid shit that makes no sense and send you to talk to him anyway. So y'all might as well cut me out and just go straight to him and ask him stuff."
There you go.
The first
He hit me up in
first
Messenger. He
step is
started
admitting it.
laughing. Yeah,
That's
he
what
hit me
it
up
is.
in Messenger and started laughing. I'm like, dude, I'm dead ass serious. They're gonna ask me something. I'm gonna be like, purple dinosaurs. Go ask Phoenix. But I appreciate,
No.
Jim reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do that with him. And of course, it's for Bobby. I'm always down for helping him out.
You know what you
because
should do?
He helps us out.
You know what you should do is you just start making up shit and said Phoenix said it.
Yeah.
According
I'm
to Phoenix, this is what you should do.
like the worst part is I'm new to Discord. Like I never used it before until
Yeah.
I got into Bobby's Discord.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now that I'm
same here.
admins, like the whole screen changes. Like
Yeah,
it all
there's a lot
becomes
of shit.
different looking. So
Yeah.
I'm like looking around trying to figure shit out, and I'm afraid to touch stuff because if I touch something, it might fuck something up. So,
Yeah.
so what I do is I
just don't
highlight it
right-click.
with my mouse and
Yeah.
I take a picture and I send it, and I'm like, what does this do?
Yeah, just don't right click on anything. You'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, let's see here. Should we do Kenobi and then we'll end on the boys?
Good.
Because
Let Mike go first with Kenobi because he's gonna say it's trash.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna let you guys go first.
no,
Oh, no,
we
you
need
get to
to
go
we need to
first.
berate you for longer. So you need to go
No,
ahead.
no,
And get your-
sorry. No.
You were late.
you go first. I surprisingly I'm moderate on it. I don't hate it and I don't love it. I'm like kind of in the middle on it.
I'm disappointed.
You're always
Yeah, what
disappointed.
disappointed you about it?
Oh,
Go
so
with
Go ahead.
what
Go ahead.
disappointed
so
you.
much.
Go ahead.
So much
Start
to
running it
talk
down.
about.
Tell me
Because I bet
exactly
you
how
some
else I
of
did
some of
then.
our stuff will probably line up about what I was disappointed in too.
maybe. Yeah.
And do it without saying Riva once.
Oh
That's
no, that's impossible. Exactly.
Because she was literally the worst thing of the show. Like
Oh,
literally,
God.
the last episode, I was talking about this. Okay, I'm gonna spin off mic in front of you on this because Shoky brought it up.
Go ahead.
We were talking about it. I was talking with EE Prime and Gort and a couple
your
others.
other
We were
friends.
like,
We know. It's your other friends.
my real friends,
Yeah.
the ones that talk to me more than once a week. So I was talking to them in a chat, and we were talking, and I think it was EE Prime brought it up, and he brought it up early in the series, and like maybe around part 3 or 4, and by the end of it, I agreed with him. Is the lady who plays Riva is a good actress? She's
Yes.
just a bad fit for Star Wars
Yes.
because you can see it in the turn. In
Yep.
part 6, when she's now no longer evil,
Spoilers now.
you know, she's well, fuck them. Fuck them.
Or
Show's over
whatever.
for over a fucking week. Eat a dick, people.
It's been over
So-
for 4 days. 3
Yeah,
days.
and by the
3
time they hear this
days.
shit, by the time they hear this shit, it'll be a week, so they can go fuck themselves.
Maybe I might
So-
drop it earlier.
I don't care. Fuck them. I don't care if it was yesterday. If they really fucking cared, they would have been up at 3:00 in the morning watching it like I was. Go fuck themselves.
The point
So,
is, yes.
The point is, when she does her turn,
Mhm.
and you know her redemption starts towards the end of part 6,
got a
she
redemption.
starts being good at that point. Like
I
her
know.
acting actually starts being better, and not even by a little bit, like a lot better.
I disagree.
So I think her biggest issue is she's not good at playing bad guys, and she signed on to be a bad guy.
I disagree, but only in that I think that her
Because you're racist?
No, because I think her best acting was actually when she was having that quiet moment with Obi Wan back in episode 4. I think it was
That was 5.
the siege
5.
episode.
Yeah,
8.
through the door when they were talking.
I think
Yeah, the
that
other
moment, and then
debacle.
where she was like waiting. I think anytime,
But that's the beginning of her turn. That's
But
what
no,
I'm saying.
but-
That's where that's where her evil dialed down, was in that conversation.
I seem to
And then when-
recall calling this pretty much somewhat. Oh boy. when
no.
this series
Everyone
was
said that
turning out.
she would turn around.
Everybody
and
knew she was going to have a
save
redemption.
Obi-Wan. She didn't get.
Oh
she
yeah,
didn't
but I
get
mean,
a
Star
turn,
Wars.
redemption.
but I mean, turn against Vader, and she would be the
But-
one more or less to save Luke.
I don't
That's
think
not
anybody.
what
I don't
happened.
think anybody technically said that, but yeah,
Luke's
Yeah.
lightweight pussiness and passing out from fear saved Luke.
she fucking threw his ass against the rocks.
Pussy.
Fear. It's like, you mean that impact to his head? Yeah, I have that same
Yeah.
fear sometimes. No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pussy.
So look, her same.
So
falling
that's what I was trying to
from
say
12
is her when she dials down that evil, she's good.
Wait, here's the thing.
When she dials up that evil, she's very wooden and like she's like, I'm trying to be scary, grr, and it just doesn't
It's-
fucking come off.
No, what it
And
is
doesn't work.
What it is entirely is the cringiness combined with intensity, because the
Mhm.
other Inquisitors, except for the Grand Inquisitor, all have the exact same problem. Tons of
Like
intensity,
her
and
face, like, if
soul
you mute it-
cringery.
If you mute it and look at her
Mhm.
when she's doing her evil stuff, she looks mean and vicious.
Yeah.
It's just somehow when she turns that on in her acting, her the way she presents and talks sounds very wooden and dumb.
Well,
But
here's
when she turns that off and she's just being herself, just talking,
Uh-huh.
then she puts all her acting skills into the verbal part of it.
well, how about
It's-
this?
she has a hard time doing both, I think.
Well, how about this? The reason why it was so bad is because she was overacting, because she was playing the part the whole time. Even with
That's what I'm saying. She over the top. She went too
No, but
far.
I'm- no,
She-
no, I'm saying-
you never go
I'm saying
full
Reva.
retard.
No, I'm saying Reva,
Yeah.
not the actress, was playing the
Ah,
part.
I got you.
So like she's
I
literally
got
like,
you.
I have to pretend to be
So
this.
she's oh my god, this is gonna be my second Tropic Thunder. She's a dude, pretend to be a dude, pretend to be another dude.
How dare you make an
So
assumption?
she went
Yeah.
went full on Revatard, and it did not
exactly.
work.
Exactly.
Really
Well,
good,
I mean,
I
it
love
worked.
that.
It worked up until the point that Vader's like, "Do you think I didn't see?" First of all,
And them throwing that Grand Inquisitor back in there, that was such
Well-
horse shit.
well, you
That's
knew that
because
was gonna
every one of us
happen.
have. No. We knew he wasn't dead, but they could have left it. I think they should have left him where we thought he was dead, because it's explained away in Rebels that he's still alive and that he they did not have to bring him
Well-
popping up and going, "You thought I was dead? I'm evil. I have hate." Well,
the
and then
thing
disappearing
is-
again was stupid as fuck.
Yeah,
You know the actor gave
they,
it away,
They don't
right?
even explain how he just survived. He just, oh,
no, they did.
hi,
They did.
I'm here.
yeah,
but-
they did. They did. They said he had hate.
No.
That's literally what he said. He said hate helps you survive a lot of things.
Yeah, but you understand, like, the actor
yeah,
himself
but I mean-
gave it away, on Jimmy Kimmel? He literally says...
Oh, I don't pay attention to that
Yeah,
shit.
so...
I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel.
what are they called? The Oedipalans or something like that? They have 2 stomachs.
Sure.
He got stabbed in one. So that's how...
So they try to... So what was
Oh,
Reva's
God.
excuse? Because she got stabbed in the same stomach. So
she got
what's
stabbed.
her-
She got stabbed in the
Exactly.
same place
It's
she
like,
got
oh
stabbed
my
as a
God.
kid. So how did she survive the first time?
Probably
the
because
same-
scar tissue built up.
No, here's the problem: is that Anakin has weak pullout game because he clearly doesn't know how to finish off a girl.
It's just
He only ever did it once, and that
Or-
led to Leia and Luke. So
Okay, how did he kill so many fucking kids, but he manages to fail this one? He kills all the rest of them around her.
yeah.
Managed to
It's
stab
because
her
of the
in
lack
the gut.
of writing talent and
because they wanted to force her
incompetent
reason to
directing.
hate. They wanted to force a reason for her to hate Anakin,
I see
and they
what
could have
you
went
did
with she was just the easiest one.
So stupid.
The easiest one without doing that would have been making her related to one of the kids. that he
I'm not
killed.
really
Even
evil,
that's
but I'm
stupid.
doing evil acts. You know,
I'm doing-
It's
I'm
better
doing
than
evil
she
to be good.
survived a
Oh,
lightsaber to the
fuck.
fucking chest at 8 years old. What
Yeah.
the fucking likeliness of that shit happening?
Yeah, and considering
But
that was
it-
only 10 years prior to that,
Mm.
like, so she's like 20 something now in
oh,
theory.
whatever. This
And
whole
like,
show is
well,
a bag
well,
of
we know
smashed
that
assholes.
cybernetics.
Well, no,
are
it's
easy.
not.
It's
No, not the whole show. Not the whole show. First of all, Ewan McGregor, 1,000,000,000%, 11 on a 10 scale, perfect Obi-Wan.
He's a billion
perfectly
percent,
acted this
11 on a
whole-
10.
Whole fucking
Great math.
he is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Like he
Sorry, Alec.
he was amazing. Like he was perfect in this.
He acted his ass off.
all his
Yeah.
visual cues, all his verbals, his physical acting. He was fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like
Too bad they
you
just
can't
wrote
get
him like
better
dog
than that.
shit.
No, he
No.
was perfect. He was perfectly
No,
Obi-Wan
they
Kenobi.
did.
They wrote him just fine.
Well, okay. I mean, I would agree with you,
Hold on,
except for you're wrong.
Mike
He
didn't
was
get to tell
perfect.
us all of his
No, I don't
disappointments
think
first.
I
Hold
was
on.
wrong.
Oh yeah.
We were
That's right,
supposed to
'cause I
let
got
Mike
into
tell
Rivas.
us
Sorry,
how
bud.
bad
Sorry.
it was so that we could correct him.
Sorry. Well, not gonna correct
What is
him.
the
Not really
that you
correct him.
have to correct me? This is
it's
my
not about
opinion,
correcting.
right?
I know.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
not
joke.
correcting. It's he's going to give an opinion,
You
and we're
know.
going to give an opposing opinion sometimes because I'm probably going to agree with him on some of it because like Riva, I didn't like Riva, so we agree
Okay, so
on
we
that.
all
No,
agree that
don't
nobody
like
liked Reva.
But I mean, like, you know, yeah, because the Grand Inquisitors.
And
like,
she
they're
should have
really
died
good.
like she was supposed to originally.
Yes,
She definitely
but
should have
then-
died, and that's one of
But
the
this
things
is
I
what
said. Is she
happens
didn't have
now.
an
She's
arc.
going to get her own spin-off sequel.
Mhm.
No,
which is
no,
gonna
this is what
even
I
suck
said.
more.
This is what I said. I said it's going to be a season 2 of Obi-Wan, and it's going to be another 48 hours with her and Obi-Wan being the buddy
No,
cops.
No,
it's-
she's getting her own
confirmed.
spin-off.
She's getting her own spin-off.
Barf.
It's going to be the Reva show.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
And they're probably going to
Literally,
have her meet up with
Alright,
Quinlan
it's gonna be
Voss
so
and ruin
stupid.
everything.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
All right, so go ahead with what
know,
else you
it-
dislike about
like,
it. 'Cause I want to
they
hear.
don't- They don't even explain, like, you know, why, how did she get off the planet anyway after being stabbed, right? All the ships are gone. How did she make it to Tatooine? How did she even manage to make it to Tatooine before, oh God, just,
Well, nobody
So many
else knew to go to
stupid
Tatooine,
friggin-
so that makes sense how she got there first.
yeah, it's like, why
How she
even
got there,
bother
nobody
going
knows.
to Tatooine, right? You're not working for Vader anymore. You're certainly not an Inquisitor anymore. You know, you really don't have a beef with Obi-Wan really that much anymore, right? Your whole motivation for like doing what you're doing is gone. Yet she
her
has to go-
but her motivation
But-
was to hurt Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan ruined her chances to hurt
Yeah,
Vader,
they-
so she
yeah,
wanted to
they're
hurt
taking out on
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, right? But I gotta go to Tatooine and get a kid just because I saw it in a freaking communicator. And then on top of that, like going that, you know, this whole thing is for justice. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Justice at this point, when you just admitted to Obi-Wan that really you're hunting Vader, which was stupid enough as it is anyway, because like Vader said, like, did you really think you were going to get the drop on me? Like, seriously, girlfriend? I don't think so. Right? Like, come on.
That was the whitest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, yeah, but
That was
that's how
pretty
bad it is, right? That's, you know, it's just cringe.
Oh man, just Jameson's kicking in. That killed me, Mike. That one killed me.
Oh
I'm
man.
not drinking enough.
All
of
right,
that.
so okay, so besides that, what else did you dislike about the whole overall show? Because you said it's
You
a
know-
bag of smashed assholes, which is a
Okay,
pretty
well,
heavy indictment
what?
against
You,
it.
you see this epic fight between Vader and Kenobi, right? Now, I'm gonna say that the fight between Kenobi and Vader was pretty good. But the whole friggin' shaky cam thing, oh god, it just drives me nuts. Just drives me nuts. You have an epic battle between the two, which technically really shouldn't even really be taking place anyway. But
Why?
oh god, just stop with the shaky cam.
Okay,
Like-
so you're talking about
like-
the final battle in part 6?
Yeah.
All right.
You know.
Real quick. Between the two of you,
because
real quick.
before, when last we met, I was the learner.
Between-
Now I am the master, right? It's like, that's supposed to be pretty much episode 3 right there, right?
Okay.
And you're
But
not
between-
supposed to
hold
have
on,
met
hold on.
before.
Hold on. Between
Yeah,
the two of
okay.
you, how many of you were waiting for him to say, "Now I have the high ground" when he put Anakin in?
Yeah,
when he
I
put-
I was.
thought that was going to be.
I thought he was
was,
saying, "Now
yeah.
I have the high ground" when he put him in the
Yeah.
hole.
Brink brought that up, and I told him my answer. I'd have been like, "How's that high ground working for you now, bitch?" And then turned around and walked away. That's how I would have handled that shit. Everybody was kind
how
of like,
do
when
you
it happened,
feel
and we saw
now?
the camera. Yeah, how you like me now,
Oh,
bitch, or
God.
some shit like that. Like I was waiting for sassy Vader.
Like he was kind of sassy when he first attacked him.
Biatch.
Like when he
Okay, but you're focusing on part 6, Mike. I'm talking about, you said the whole show. So overall, for the whole show, why is it trash?
I don't know. It just, after watching the whole entire thing, it does and it doesn't feel like Obi-Wan. Like it's just a mixed bag for me. Yeah.
My thing where it doesn't make me love
It's-
it. Like I don't
it's
think
like-
I don't
It's like
I don't think it's
Bail Organa fails in his mission to protect the girl. Obi-Wan basically ditches Luke. And then I don't know how many times throughout the show it's like, I have to give up. I just have to quit. I have to give up. Oh no, you have to take on the mission to get Leia back to Alderaan. It's like constantly passing off his duty, constantly like giving up continuously here and there. Oh god, and episode 4, like trying to hide Leia under a trench coat. It's like
that was very derpy. That was
That was the dumbest. That was the
who
dumbest.
in
was-
the world? Like, and then on top of that, you find out later on that really the writer of the show didn't even really watch the prequels before that, because he didn't even know like Vader was Anakin. What? Are you kidding me? Like, fuck me. This show just drives me up the wall. Although I will say, okay, not to the last episode where Anakin's like, after he gets his helmet slashed by Obi-Wan, right?
Mhm.
Nice nod where Anakin or Vader, whichever you want to say, let's say both, whatever, where Anakin is like, no, I killed him. I killed
Yeah.
Anakin.
That
right?
was awesome. That
Yeah.
whole
Nice
entire
nod.
conversation between them was
It
very
is
powerful.
a nice nod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything about their final
and how it
duel.
cuts out between the voice modulator thing and his voice.
Yes.
Plus on
yes.
top of that, where the lightsaber, you can see it on the face,
Mhm.
goes from blue and slowly fades to red
Yeah, because
during that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
like,
There's an-
if you look too, I saw it on a recap video.
Mhm.
If you look closely, the wounds that are created when Obi-Wan strikes off that part of his mask that they made sure that they placed him in the same place where when Luke takes his mask off in Return of the Jedi, it explains those scars that
The
are on
Humpty
his head
Dumpty
right
head.
there. Yeah, which I thought was cool that they kept that continuity very tight. My thing about that last episode is I hated the back and forth of we're watching Anakin and Vader fight, or Obi-Wan and Vader fight, and then let's flip over here and see what these guys are doing, and derp, and then flip back over to the fight. Like, I think they should have said it all in one thing. Like, here's what happened with Luke, all the way up to the point where Obi-Wan would have to be there, of course. Here's what was happening with Obi-Wan and Vader, and then when that ends, have Obi-Wan show up to Luke and all that stuff. I don't like that. 2 seconds here, 2 seconds there, 2 seconds here. I don't like that kind of fucking filmmaking. Like, that's one of my biggest problems with what's his face, fucking Pulp Fiction guy. I hate that I hate that out of order fucking recording shit and jumping back and forth and all that. I don't like that. I want to see this, and then I want to see that. I don't want to see bits and pieces of both at the same time.
Well, the thing is that if you do that, if you break it up, you lose the momentum of the two different intense scenes. So you get the entire fight scene between Vader and Obi-Wan with no break. And
I don't want the break. I want to be able to go to that episode, turn it on, and watch that. I don't want to have to fast forward through the Reva parts.
Let me justify this, because I have no problem with the way it's done. Because the point is, you have to have a breather in there, and if you show a complete look at Luke's fight with Vader at any given point in any movie, whether that's Empire or Jedi. They always break up the main lightsaber.
They did
fights.
break it up, but they
Every
left
time.
bigger chunks. But it was bigger chunks is my problem. In this one, it was like
exactly.
It would swing twice, cut to something else. Run 2 steps, cut back to the swinging twice.
Yeah,
cut back to the running 2 steps. Cut back to the swinging twice.
And that's the difference between a movie and a TV show. You've only got a different amount of time.
But the thing is, but I'm saying they could have still left bigger gaps. They could have had the whole.
But then the whole thing has to be longer, Ricky. You have to make it longer for that to work.
No, make it 7 episodes. Make it 8 episodes. I don't give a fuck. Make it a movie
it was already running too long. But the point is, you have to keep the momentum between the two different scenes, but you also have to have the lull. So cutting away gives you the lull, so you can breathe for a minute. You have to have that when you have heavy action. You have to. Like, everybody says they want uninterrupted action, except by the time you watch a full 10-minute fight, you're exhausted by the time it's over if they don't cut away to something that's moving a little bit slower.
That's incorrect. Have you ever watched John Wick? No. That's 2.5 hours of straight fucking action from start to finish. And I love those movies.
That I do have to disagree with. Yeah.
Well, you're both wrong. So it's fine.
10 minutes of lightsaber fight.
No.
Do you see what you did, Obi-Wan? You made me agree with Mike, you motherfucker. Fuck you, Disney.
Yeah, exactly. So either way.
No, I want an epic battle.
That's and you got an epic battle.
See. No, I didn't get that much of an epic battle.
Up. It was like exactly. It was like little spurts.
Cut.
It was perfect.
Right?
It was perfect.
No. Because it was far from perfect. The show was far from perfect.
No, I'm talking about the fight was perfect.
No, the fight would have been perfect if they'd left bigger chunks of it.
Now, if nothing was happening,
so many times where
if they were cutting back from nothing happening, then it would have been dumb. But they're cutting back to a new section of action.
Like them walking from, okay, we were fighting over here. I pushed you back over there. So now I'm going to walk 15 steps over here. I don't need to see that.
Exactly.
That's the part. That's where you cut. That's where you cut and go to something else. But they weren't doing that. They were cutting mid-fight, mid-conversations, mid-fucking rants. They were cutting other stuff.
How long do you need to watch two people slap light tubes together?
Until one of them fucking dies.
Possible. Okay, so how many people here have actually filmed and actually made a lightsaber duel video?
I have.
Have you? When?
Yeah, when I was younger, me and my friend Aaron did them.
How long was it?
15 minutes, I think, in total.
Yeah, we did 25. We did 2 25-minute movies and did the whole thing. If we didn't cut away from them, it was fucking ridiculous and very exhausting to watch it slug. And we're talking almost nonstop action. And we're talking about not the fact that we just filmed it, but the fact that we edited this shit. Now, unfortunately, none of this exists anymore because some dipshit left a fucking pile of tapes at his mom's house and she threw everything away.
Wow. What I'm saying is it doesn't have to be 15 solid minutes. I'm okay with like a 7.5 minute cut on each side.
Yeah, but
or even breaking it down to 5-minute cuts 3 times. That's fine. But this was like every 30 seconds they were cutting away. It was too fucking much. It was too many cuts.
Then I'm gonna go after this. And I'm gonna rewatch it and I'm gonna time how long each cut was.
Oh,
yep.
Challenge.
Count how many times they cut.
I will.
Don't worry about the times. Of course, I'm making up numbers. I didn't sit
there.
No,
I'm gonna see.
But basically, this whole show was like, the Reva and Leia show. It wasn't even really.
Well, I don't even care that it was
Leia. That is my
Reva
biggest negative. No, my biggest negative. Okay, I told
the one thing that saves Obi-Wan from being buried of 2 or 3 tons of rock was Leia. It wasn't the fact that he had to like fall back on really honing in on whatever.
I said there was 3 things that if they did, it broke canon and made this show garbage. And that was 1, if Vader ever found out, or Vader went to Tatooine to fight Obi-Wan, because we knew the fight was coming because of promo stills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if that happened on Tatooine, that breaks continuity because Vader knows he's on Tatooine now, and there's no reason why he wouldn't circle back and look at him before Episode 4. Also, if Vader finds out about Luke, that's a continuity break. If Vader finds out about Leia, that's a continuity break. Or if Leia and Luke found out about each other, continuity breaks.
And
any of those
happened,
it breaks the original trilogy. This show skated so fucking close to that sun, dude. They pulled
Are those two
an
suns?
Icarus on this shit. They were flying so close to the sun on this, and I saw it coming. And I kept telling them, and Brink laughed. He's like, "So, do you still love Star Wars?" After Episode 6 or Part 6 came out, because I told him, I was like, if they fuck any one of those things up, I'm out. If they fuck that up, I'm done with Star Wars. That will be my Episode 9 for most people. I will be done with Star Wars. And they skated so close and just barely wrote their way out of those corners, that it's still scary to me that it's still sitting right there, that if they do a season 2, they could still fuck the pooch on it, because they made it so close. They kept Leia like in a 10-foot circumference around Vader, and that's a very uncomfortable place when Vader shouldn't know about Leia, and Leia should not know that Vader's her father. That's very uncomfortable to have them that close for a whole entire show.
See,
Leia should have been
problem.
Leia should have been part 1 through 3. First she gets kidnapped, then part 2 they get Obi-Wan involved and finds her. Part 3 he gets her home. And then Leia should have been back on Alderaan, and that should have been the end of Leia. They should not have kept her in this whole show. It was too much circling the sun around Vader. It's too much. And they did the same thing with Luke.
It's first of all, it's way too much with Leia and Obi-Wan, right? Because this whole adventure, she's never gonna forget this, right?
Yep.
But in Episode 4, okay, like basically when Obi-Wan gets killed in New Hope, okay, when Kenobi sacrifices himself, okay,
she's like, come on guys, let's get on the ship. She had no reaction.
Leia's there comforting Luke, like as if she's never known the man to begin with, basically, right?
Yep.
Some have attempted to use, Ben versus Obi-Wan argument to skirt the whole entire issue.
Yeah, but they killed that.
But it doesn't pan out. It doesn't pan out, seeing how Leia recognizes both references in A New Hope. Yeah. Right.
Plus, it's flat out said to her in the show. Reva flat out says that he's Obi-Wan.
That's why it breaks canon. Plus, on top of that, Obi-Wan, or like in Episode 4, another thing is like Obi Wan Kenobi. Well, that's a name that I haven't heard. Like well before you were born, right? But it's constantly.
No, he didn't say that. He said it in a long time.
A name, in a very long time. Sorry, yeah. So.
Okay,
so 8 years. 8 years is a pretty long time.
Hold on.
My thing is Brink gave a very good head, because my first original argument against Leia in it was the recording. The Obi-Wan, you fought with my father in the Clone Wars.
In the Clone Wars.
Like all that stuff. Like that was my first original argument. And Brink gave a very good headcanon reason for that recording versus the fact that she knew Obi-Wan. And I will agree with him. I will give him credit for this. She was trying to hide. If anybody had found that message, it hid her ties directly to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. I can accept that. I can accept that she was trying to low key not tie herself directly to him.
Yeah.
But the part that gets me is, like you said, when he sacrifices himself, when Vader makes that swing. Luke, who just met him a week before, or not met him, started this adventure with him the week before, screams no and is heartbroken by his death.
And
but Leia who literally had her life saved, they became BFFs. They traded fucking TikToks with each other. She gave him a fucking friendship ring and a friendship bracelet at the end of part 6. Like all that bullshit, blah, blah, blah. She didn't fucking care. She's like, oh, I'm so sad that your friend died.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, because with that whole
she should have been more devastated than Luke.
Exactly. It should be flipped around, but it's not. It's not.
Yep.
Can I talk?
And that's the part is the part that I'm talking about. It brushes so close to breaking stuff. It does. So
it
close.
Does break it.
Can I talk now?
No.
Because I'm gonna say some shit. I can mute you motherfuckers and talk however much I want.
Well, then that's just communist.
And me and Mike can drop out and you be talking to yourself.
And that's fine.
That's right.
So I'm gonna tell this to every fucking Star Wars nerd out there. Stop holding Episode 4 as canon to anything. Nothing was written before Episode fucking 4. He had no fucking clue.
Everything needs to line up.
Well, I'm going to say this since you just go on that little rant that makes no sense, because everything that was written after Episode 4 was created had Episode 4 as a template to work with. So everything that was written should have worked into Episode 4, not against Episode 4. So what you're saying makes no fucking sense logically.
Exactly. And Ricky, I agree with you 100%.
except for the fact that they contradict episode 4 in almost every fucking episode. It's
No, they don't.
So much.
Name where they contradict. Name where they contradict.
Dude, George Lucas didn't have shit written. He didn't know what the Clone Wars was. He didn't know who the fucking anybody else was.
That's
He had
not
no
true.
plan for fucking anything.
His first
He knew.
book, the Star Wars saga, he had episodes 1 through 9 completely written.
No,
And
he
That's
didn't.
right.
He
did.
That's a
Yes, he
fucking
did.
lie.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
No,
he
no,
did.
No, no,
he
no,
went with
he
4,
did.
5, and 6
He
because that's
didn't.
where all the action
That-
was. 1,
that's
2, and
right.
3
But
was
on
slow
top of
and
that-
boring. 4, 5, and 6 was all the
But on
action.
top of
7, 8,
that,
and 9
the
was
reason-
the tie-up of everything.
The reason he was asked, why did you release episode 4? What happened to episode 1, 2, and 3? And he said, because the technology was not there to be able to produce episode 1, 2, and 3 the way he would have wanted it. And that's why he did 4, 5, and 6, because he could, at the time, technologically speaking, produce it, and it was more manageable to release it 4, 5, and 6 before 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Like,
That's
I
what
want
he
you to
said,
think of it this
and
way.
that's how he
I want
said
you.
it.
I want you to picture this. Hold on, real quick. Picture the pod race. Picture the pod race from episode 1.
Uh-huh.
Now picture that same pod race, the whole scene, like
With
with them in the stands and
1977
all that stuff.
technology.
With 1977, with people wearing fucking costumes in the fucking stands. How stupid would that shit have looked?
About as
And
stupid
that's
as the
why he
fact
did
that
it that way.
Leia kisses Luke in episode 5.
That was a change that George Lucas didn't make. That was a change that
You're telling me that
Shire,
you're telling me that somebody changed the canon after the original fucking story was written. And then what happened?
One,
Hold
two,
on,
and three. You said
whoa.
1, 2. You
No,
said
no, no,
1,
no,
2,
no.
and 3
Hold on.
contradicted.
I said
4.
all of them. I said all of them
try
contradict it. Because you
They-
can't
they
hold that
pur-
shit
they
to canon
purposely-
anymore. Because they fucking
you can, 'cause
rewrite it
you-
as
you
they
can only
go.
hold-
Luke was
You can only hold
not
the ones that George
no,
Lucas did.
Luke was not Leia's sister in the original writing. They were supposed to have a fucking romantic thing. Luke was not meant to end up
Yes.
with Han. They rewrote
And his name
it
also wasn't
later.
Skywalker. It was Star Killer. But
Star Killer.
that's all
Who the
beside the
fuck is
point.
calling me from Indiana? I don't know anybody in Indiana.
Not me.
Telemarketer.
I
No,
haven't-
the point.
I haven't been in Indiana in a
No,
while.
because it didn't come up as scam only. It came up with an actual verified number. But I don't answer anything anymore. But the point is,
But
they
I get
just
the
make shit
potential
up
scam
as
ones
they
all the time
went.
that have.
And then George
They didn't make
Lucas
it
wrote,
up. They changed stuff. That's not
which
the same
means
thing.
they made it
changed
up
stuff.
and changed what they wanted to do, whatever they wanted. And sometimes they did it later in the edit. Sometimes they
So
reshot shit later.
Lucas did 4, and
Uh-huh.
Lucas did 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah,
completely
look
without
how-
anybody
how
else's
bad that
input.
went.
Where did they contradict each other? Because you said 1, 2, and 3 contradicted.
Because this is Lucas's story. Now you have it in Disney's hand, and even Lucas said
7, 8,
that
and 9
Disney
contradict
Star
a
Wars-
bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because, but the point is,
That's not Lucas.
even Lucas said that Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars.
Well, how
Because
about
Lucas gave
this?
them
It's
Lucas
a
gave
wreck.
them a
It's the
treatment.
whole
Lucas
wreck.
gave them a treatment for 7, 8, and 9
So-
that would not have directly contradicted fucking continuity, but
That's
Disney
right.
tossed it out and wrote their own.
That's
shit.
right. The
So
wills.
so why did Obi-Wan not recognize R2-D2?
When does he actually
Because it
say that
wasn't
he doesn't
his
recognize
droid.
them?
He
And plus, it's an R2 mech. There's probably 5 bazillion of them driving
except for the
around.
fact
My
he knows
Toyota-
specifically it's R2-D2. He is
I
told
don't
it's
remember owning a
R2-D2.
droid.
It's like I don't remember owning an astromech droid. Which okay, we can
Because
say
technically
either
he never did.
technically he never owned it.
he had
Anakin
R4. He had R4. But he
Well,
knew
but he didn't own
R2-D2
R-
very
but he
short
didn't-
time. But he didn't
R2-D2
own it
saved
on
his
part
life
of-
multiple times. Saved him and Anakin multiple times.
But
Yes.
but
But was it
remember how he
his?
talks with that when I say things from a certain perspective, from a certain point
Exactly,
of
and that's
view.
what happens
He
when you
never owned
rewrite
R2D.
shit.
He
But-
never owned R2D2.
But that's
Anakin owned R2D2.
So what you're telling me is that he lied all the time to cover his own
Yes.
ass. Oh, so
Yes.
it could be
Well,
that
I wouldn't
Leia
say
and
lied.
he both
I would say
lied
lied.
to cover
He
their
lied.
asses
He
to
did
end up in
he
this
did like
point.
white lies
saw
to
it-
stuff that he didn't think
saw
Luke
it
needed.
he saw it from a certain point of view.
No, that's called
Yeah, so that's-
retconning, and that's all they've ever done is retcon shit because
Well,
they
that's
went,
what they did.
oh,
You
we're
liked-
writing new
You
stuff
liked Obi-Wan,
now.
right? You liked Obi-Wan, Shoky?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you shouldn't because that was a retcon. Anakin saying the words to him that you did not kill Anakin,
Mhm.
I killed Anakin, is
Yeah.
to fix the retcon of the point of view thing for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was
That's
always
a
a
fix
retcon.
to what he said.
Yeah,
But
but
you
what-
can't like it. If you
but
did,
he's
you're saying that
always
it's bad that
lied
they
about
retcon
that.
there. They're retcon there.
So also, why does he call him Darth? That was another retcon. Darth was originally
Because
his
he knew
name,
his
not a
friend was
title.
Because
truly
Anakin,
dead.
but Anakin is
It-
dead at the end of Obi-Wan. When
I'm talking about
you see it on
episode
his
4.
face.
I'm talking about A New Hope. He calls him, "Go ahead and strike me down, Darth." He calls him Darth.
Yeah, because that's his name at that point.
That's his
In the
name,
Obi-Wan show, they
which
show
means
him
they
why call him
retcon that No, it's not a name. Darth is a title, but back then
I
it was
understand
a
because you have
name.
Darth Sidious and Darth this and
Yeah,
Darth. I got
but
that.
no, but even then, Darth Vader was his name, not a title and a name. That's the thing. In A New Hope, Darth Vader was his actual name. That's why he refers to him as Darth, like it's his given name.
The thing is, Darth is the title.
Yeah.
Vader is the name.
Exactly.
Right?
But I'm saying
Vader,
his
on top
name
of this,
was
and this is how
originally
smart
Darth
Lucas
Vader.
was.
Because you think about because
Vader
he changes it
is
later when
Danish,
Vader
I
ranks
believe,
up, he
for
calls him
father.
Lord. He calls him Lord Vader.
Lord
Mhm.
Vader.
Yeah, he's not Lord Darth Vader.
Yeah,
so
they keep
Darth is
changing
a
it.
title. No, that was in the
Dark-
original trilogy.
Dark
Darth was
Lord
not. Darth
of
was
the
a
Sith.
title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they called him Lord Vader, not Lord Darth Vader. You know,
Well, yeah,
so
because
Darth became
usually
Lord.
when you say Lord with the last name.
He ranked up to Lord.
No, what I'm saying, no, he's always a Sith Lord.
No, he wasn't.
Arise, Lord Vader. What? That's literally what he said in episode
No, he doesn't.
3. In episode 3,
No,
that's
he
what he
doesn't.
says.
He does not say that.
What does he
says,
say?
"Arise, my apprentice, Darth Vader."
No, not when he's kneeling.
Go watch it. Go
no,
watch
at
it.
the end when he puts him in the suit.
No, go watch it.
You go
Calls
watch
him
it.
Darth Vader. You go watch it.
Either
I don't wanna
way,
fucking watch
the
it. I
fact
don't want to
that
watch the original trilogy.
the fact that
prequels
anyone is
again.
getting pissed off when they continually retcon shit all the fucking time. Like they're always retconning stuff. Lucas retcons shit constantly with his million
I'm
edits
not
of
pissed
the
that
original
I'm not
trilogy.
pissed that they retcon stuff. My upsetness was how close they got to destroying the canon.
They
It's
can't
not
destroy
a retcon.
shit.
Yes, they can.
They
Yes,
destroy
can.
whatever they want.
If Luke and Leia learned that Vader was their father in this Obi-Wan show, that would destroy.
Okay,
canon.
let's destroy
Oh,
canon.
totally.
Let's destroy canon one more time. How the fuck does Anakin know how to come back as a Force ghost? He dies and immediately comes back as a fucking Force ghost in Jedi.
Yes.
I don't know because he's that powerful.
Because
You
he's
have to
the
be
chosen
taught that by
one.
Qui-Gon or
No,
Yoda.
you don't have to be taught that by Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon's
Qui-Gon was
the
the first person to do it.
Qui-Gon was the one who figured out how to do it in the first place. So how does somebody who
No,
just
not the first
died-
place. He was the first one that brought it back because in the EU,
Yes,
other
that's right.
Jedi used to do it. He just had been the first one to do it in a long time.
To rediscover it.
Yeah, because he's the only one in a long time who believed in the living Force and
And by the way, fuck Qui-Gon. And I'm only saying that for Brink in EE
Oh, at the
because
end?
they got mad at me that I said Qui-Gon's super overrated.
Either way, I think the Leia story is perfectly fine because it actually gave him a reason to care about anything.
I think
he
should have. I think
anything.
she should have been pulled. I think she should have been pulled out sooner. Like
Why?
episode 3, she should have back on
way
Alderaan
sooner.
because
But-
because it left it too close for them to ruin the story. It's riding that line too hard.
I know. I just think it bludgeoned it to death.
It made me not able to
to.
enjoy. It made me not able to enjoy parts 4 and 5 as much because I was instead of watching the show and enjoying it for what it was, I was watching it to see where they finally dropped the fucking ball. And that's the part. And I'm going to say it's me personally. It doesn't ruin the show. It ruined my enjoyment of the show because instead of being able to just enjoy it for what it was, I was waiting for them to fucking drop the other boot and fuck it all up. And thank God they didn't. They didn't. They just barely skated past that.
See, that comes.
But the problem is they're leaving it open.
To fan
Season 2.
expectations.
Yeah, but season 2 leaves it open for him to fuck it up again because now Vader's right there. Leia's right there next to him.
That's
Luke's
the other
right
thing.
there next to him.
That's the other thing. After what happens to Luke, what does he do? He leaves Tatooine again.
He didn't leave Tatooine. He just went out on.
Yes,
the
he
Tatooine.
did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh
Because
yeah,
after-
I mean,
after-
he went to
it's
go
like,
drop off
oh my
Leia's
God,
shit and
did
came
you
right
not
back.
learn the first time?
Yeah, but you understand the whole point of the series is he doesn't need to babysit Luke.
I don't
I'm gonna say
care.
I love.
What did?
I
Oh,
love.
no. Hold on, Ricky. Mike, what
I
did you
don't
want?
care.
No, Mike, what did you want? You're so mad at what happened. What did you want? You always talk about what
it's
you
just-
hated. Tell me exactly what you wanted the series to do. Right now, tell me.
You know what? I just wanted something that holds the canon, not this friggin' convoluted, friggin' badly written abortion of a friggin' series.
I don't think it was that.
You
I
know,
think that's
yeah.
extreme. That's
That's
an extreme stance. It
extremely
wasn't
harsh.
that- it was not that trash.
But you're saying the
It was
exact
not-
same
it was
thing you
not
said
Boba
about
I
Moon
hated,
Knight.
I hated Reva. You know, it's you know, and I'm
I mean,
sure,
I like
and I'm
Reva.
sure the lady is a terrific person. And yes, again, like what Ricky said, you know, during her good moments, like her good moments. She's great.
She sold it.
She's but as a bad person, as a bad guy, no. Just
It'd
no.
be to me, her trying to be a bad guy is
that's-
like me trying to sell myself as an Olympic athlete. It's just not. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
No matter how good I try to act it, you're not going to believe it.
No, you're not. And I totally did not. I did not. She does not. Crap. And the worst thing is, like, she's gonna get her own series. Like, maybe she'll play a good Jedi. I don't.
That's
know.
fine. She'll fuck up that one,
but it's not gonna make me want to watch it after watching this.
Yeah,
but
really,
I would argue the turn that she has at the end, which by the way I thought was way forced and way too fast. But besides that, her acting capabilities at that point, from the point where she talks through Obi-Wan through the door, her acting at that, I would watch a show with that person in it. I would want to see what happens to her. But in reality, in my head, she should have died. Her arc should have brought her to her death.
Yeah, exactly.
What she should have done.
So
hold on. Let me just say this real quick, and then I'll let you continue. What she should have done, and what I felt that they were going to do in the moment that she was going to harikari herself with her lightsaber. When she pulls it out and she's on her knees there with Obi-Wan right at the end, that should have been her moment. Her redemption should have been her ending her life in penance for what she's done up to this point.
It should have been when Vader ran her through. That was it. That's it.
See, to me, that's not a
killing blow.
But to me, that's not the
Vader on top of that.
But
I think she should have died. I think she should have died saving Obi-Wan.
No,
that would
have ruined the show.
Redemption arc.
That would have ruined the show, because then it comes down to the same thing Mike always says. Then it becomes the woman is more powerful than the man. Look at what the woman did. The man is weak, couldn't even handle his own shit, so she had to save him.
But she didn't. I don't mean save him as in.
When
Obi-Wan was under the rocks, when he was buried, if she jumped in then to hold back Vader from killing him, that's not saving Obi-Wan as in he couldn't do it, which we saw he did do it by himself. But that just allows him that respite, that breather to be able to do it without having to worry about his life dying. I
think the ultimate problem with the show was that the Reva storyline completely was unnecessary. That is a character that needed her own storyline, and it didn't need to be piggybacked on top of the Obi-Wan story.
All the Inquisitors shouldn't have been in the show. The Inquisitors should have just not been in this show at all. This should have been a movie, and it should have been a Vader movie with Obi-Wan popping into it. It should not have been a Obi-Wan driven. If you're going to do Obi-Wan, then just show me Obi-Wan's life on Tatooine. I don't want to see the rest of that shit.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the Inquisitors were a good... what's the word I'm looking for?
A nice nod.
An inciting incident.
No, they were trash, dude. They looked like garbage. But I'm saying, they didn't really fucking do anything. I think at the end of the day, the only one that did anything was Reva.
I know, and I agree that they were a waste in this show with the way they were used. But I believe they should have been an inciting incident just to kick off the plot. I think everything else should have stayed the same, but just remove Reva's motivation. All that kind of stuff didn't need to be in here. And, you were talking about basically in a way, a tag team of her and Obi-Wan versus Vader, basically, and then her dying in the midst of it, kind of. But the problem is that their storyline should not be tied together, period, because each of them have their own problem with Vader, and they should have each dealt with that problem, which is what they technically did. She tried to take on Vader and got her ass handed to her for that reason. She should have died there. If she wasn't going to kill herself later, she should have died there. And then Vader, still being the same dipshit that he is always, focuses 100% on Obi-Wan and keeps fucking following him instead of doing everything everyone else is telling him to do. Hey, we could stop these people right now. You can go chase him, and we can take this huge Star Destroyer and still go kill those people. No problem. Like, no, we're going this way.
Now, real quick, you mentioned Quinlan Vos, which means you know a little bit of deep cuts of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not a surface Star Wars fan. You know a little bit if you know who Quinlan Vos is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give a big shout out to EE Prime, because he's been shouting this almost since day one. And I'm going to throw this out there and recontextualize this show. Remove Reva and make it Barriss. And how does that change the show for you?
Barriss Offley?
Yeah. The
I know who you're talking about.
To Darth Sidious, the girl, the bald-headed chick. Recontextualize it with her in that whole entire
you mean
story.
Ventress?
Ventress. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
What did I
so
say?
Barris is somebody else.
Interesting.
I mean, that's a Jameson. I meant Ventress.
Yeah.
Thank you. But he's been saying that since
Well-
day one. Imagine it was Ventress instead
So,
of Reva,
well-
how that would have changed the storyline.
Well,
That
well,
would have been interesting.
well, question though.
Even more interesting.
The question is: she still alive at this point, or has she been killed?
There's
Yeah,
no
that's
say,
true,
they haven't really. There's no real exact date of when she died. She just
No,
dies
that's
before
right.
episode 4.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if she's
did
not
leave
in
it open.
Rebels.
That's what I'm saying. This could have been a perfect place to bring her in, show her hatred. She hates Vader because Vader killed her master, which was Darth Sidious.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's right.
Darth, whatever his fuck name was.
And
Tyrannus.
Obi-Wan and her have a history. So
Yeah, and they have a history, and her coming over.
I think she's
to the-
too big.
to-
She would have to have her own story, not tied to anything else.
Nope.
not
I
necessarily.
think she would have been perfect because there's loose ends on her story in canon, in continuity right now. There's loose ends that this show could have tied up.
Now, are you
Yeah.
saying replace the entire Inquisitor part with just her?
Like
Yes.
like Inquisitors are out and Ventress is in.
See, and I never thought of that angle. That
Ventress
would have
trying
been
to hunt
interesting.
down Obi-Wan through the whole entire show, and we already have a reason why she hates Obi-Wan. We already have a reason why she's after Obi-Wan, and we already know that she has issue with Darth Vader because Darth Vader killed Dooku, which was her master. So she would hate him. Plus, she's already a Sith dark side user, so she would want to replace Vader. So that's all the angst we need for her not liking Vader,
Or-
and her wanting to get to Obi-Wan first is be look Emperor, look Darth Sidious, I killed Obi-Wan before your little pet Vader could. You should let me be your new right hand. And
Or,
she could
you
try
know
to
what?
take on Vader, and Vader killed her. That would have been a way better story than what we got with Reva.
Yeah. I mean, she wouldn't even have to really say, for example, not necessarily hunt down Obi-Wan. She could just be causing shit somewheres, and maybe somebody would know. It's like, oh, the only one that really dealt with her or kept her on her leash basically was like Obi-Wan. Let's get Obi-Wan, right?
Then you
and
could
then
have
brought
the
him
whole
in.
Leia part
And
of the
then-
story and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Fight. Vader gets involved on top of that. Obi-Wan ducks out without not even necessarily meeting Vader, for example.
No,
right?
I wanted that. That
you
needed
could
to
have
happen.
that. You could have it. Yeah, but that's optional, right? But see, that would have been interesting.
Except for the
that
fact
last
I
fight
would-
between
that I would have
that last
watched.
fight between Vader and Obi-Wan checked a lot of boxes and hit me right in my feels. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this too because I told them that was the best Hayden Christensen has ever acted in Star Wars.
I think
was
so.
the
Yeah.
series.
I'll give you that.
That part I do have to agree.
I have to correct you both because Ventress died before Episode 3. She was
No, she
she
didn't.
was killed by Dooku while Quinlan Voss was working for him.
In continuity that no longer exists because that's EU.
That's Clone Wars, the series.
No, she was. No, she didn't die in that.
Seventh
They showed her
season
go
of
off.
Clone Wars. She works for Jedi Quinlan Voss in a secret mission to assassinate Dooku. and
Oh, you mean the 7th season that just came out? They could have done something different with that.
that part.
she literally dies? You're talking about Quinlan Voss.
Well,
She dies
I mean,
because of
Darth
him.
Maul died. Darth Maul dies.
In
And yet he dies in episode 1, and yet he's still in.
Well, he
in
gets
Clone
cut in
Wars
half.
and in Rebels. I mean,
Yeah,
come on. Let's not be pedantic assholes. He died. Just fans liked him so much
mean,
they retconned
yeah,
it.
Anakin
You know what?
Skywalker
I
died
kinda
in
thought that was a
episode
bit
3.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I did
we
even
clearly
kinda think
seen
that
that
was a
people
bit ridiculous,
survive
but-
a lot.
That's what I'm saying. They could have brought her back. She would have been way better than Reva.
I mean, it kind of
Yeah,
depends on how
I
she
agree.
was killed, because there's some things you're not coming back from, unless Darth Vader.
I mean,
really
having all
wants
your
you.
limbs chopped off and
exactly.
catching on fire on a lava planet.
Oh,
you can
that
still live
was
through
another
shit.
thing. Since when do lightsabers turn into light clubs?
What do you mean?
Well, let's see. A few episodes, it's like, lightsabers are bouncing off people and whatnot instead of running through them.
Which people?
Well, let's see. Stormtroopers, for example.
When did it bounce off of them? Usually stabbed into
Well,
them or cut them through.
let's see. The interrogation room, for one, in that episode 4.
Talk about the
where,
darked out scene where Obi-Wan killed him.
Oh, God, yeah.
That shit was awesome. I can't believe you're
No.
negatively impacting that, dude.
The
That shit was fucking
lightsaber-
awesome.
The lightsaber, at a couple of points, bounce off the stormtrooper armor.
Did it bounce off or did he pull back?
No. It bounced off. It's clubbed, basically. Well, go watch it again. Go watch it again. So,
That scene
anyway.
was fucking amazing. I can't believe.
Well,
you're
you
dumping
know
on that
that
one.
Darth Vader's
but it was also a
specific
ripoff
armor.
from that Star Killer game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you know that was another
Unleashed.
thing.
Hold on. I
Yeah,
want to check
Force
something.
Unleashed, which was also pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
game.
which is out of continuity, so Vader can do. I mean, Disney can do whatever they want to with it, and we actually brought that up. It was either Brink or Gort. One of them was like, it'd be cool if they bring him into like season 2 of Obi Wan.
That would
and make it Vader was hiding a clone and trying to bring up his own apprentice and introduce
You know
him.
what? I just hope that Andor, when that comes out, in August now, I believe.
You're already gonna hate it.
I don't know. Like I said, I want to like it. I do.
I think
really honestly do.
The day you come on here and say you like something, I'm gonna turn my camera on so you both guys can both watch me die.
No, I've said it a few times that I've liked certain things, like The Boys. That was pretty good. I did enjoy that. The Orville, I'm liking watching that.
Yeah, the Orville. You love the Orville. You do like that one.
It is,
but
good.
I'm gonna say it all refers back to our previous conversation about baggage. None of us had the baggage of the Boys. None of us had the baggage of the Orville.
Did we have that conversation? You keep bringing that up, and I don't remember having a conversation about baggage.
We did have the conversation about preconceived notions of what something should be. That was like the second episode I was ever on, or third episode.
No, we had a conversation about expectations being the reason.
Yes,
why
that's
you
the same thing.
things.
Baggage and expectation are interchangeable words. Ding dong.
No, they're not.
It's preconceived notions of what you think should be happening in the movie or show. It's literally the same thing.
Oh.
It's literally the same thing.
Sorry, I'm reading. Trying to see about the Stormtrooper armor.
Best podcast ever. Everybody got quiet and Shoky's reading.
Well, while you guys are rambling about shit that doesn't matter, I was looking up to see if Stormtrooper
Shit that doesn't matter.
See if
Why does it
Stormtrooper
not matter?
armor. See if Stormtrooper armor actually can block a
No, it
lightsaber
cannot.
or not. However,
No,
of course, Darth Vader's armor does, because he gets hit with several lightsabers and it just bounces off of him. Burns
That's
it.
more because of like the Force thing.
No. His
He
armor is
pushes it
actually
back with the Force.
So Luke hits him in the arm in Empire, and it just bounces off, just burns the sleeve. Obi-Wan hits him flat across the back. Other than the fact of cutting it, burning his cape, his armor canonically is lightsaber resistant.
Yes.
So that's a thing. Now, whether or not it looks silly when they're filming with an actual light stick and hitting against somebody, and they don't put in the budget to make the lightsaber look like it's slicing into someone, that's a thing. But I mean, they don't work the way they're supposed to anyways. They just work however they want them to work in the scene. Anybody stabbed with a lightsaber should pop from all the fluids in their body instantly being turned to vapor. But
Just
they don't.
go back and watch the very beginning of episode 1 where he stabs through the door and it starts turning into liquid metal and melting off of it. That's what should be happening to everybody who's ever been hit with a lightsaber.
Every single person who's ever been stabbed with one.
Like clean cuts with a lightsaber is pretty ridiculous.
Like Qui-Gon.
Yeah. So, the fact that Qui-Gon died.
I just found out my great aunt in Germany just passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I haven't brought it up here.
90 years old. She died in her sleep.
I just recently lost.
Good on her.
In the last
passed away in her sleep. So the last Cordis in the family on my mother's side to pass away.
Sorry to hear it, but she had a good life and she went out the good way. So
yeah, 90 is a good age.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, my uncle who died this week didn't make it to 90. So a lot of loss going around. So yeah, my mom called me
we're all
Monday or
that
Tuesday.
age where we have more losses than gains. Yeah. It's crazy to be that age.
Well, see, either I didn't know or it hadn't come up in a long time that he had pancreatic cancer and
that's not good.
Well, he had diabetes to begin with, so he was already having issues as it went. So, that was just something. But my other uncle died last month, and they're only just finally going to have some type of memorial service for him next month because they literally had no money to pay to bury or sort of looking for it, cremate him. So apparently all of those things have skyrocketed in price, and he didn't have money.
Gas is expensive.
True. But I mean, it was like over 10 grand just to cremate without even burying.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and he had no kind of anything, and he basically died alone, essentially. Now, this is my uncle by blood, is what I'm talking about. The other uncle who passed away this week is actually
It was by marriage.
well, not even by marriage, because he was married to my uncle's ex-wife. So, like, my blood uncle's ex-wife.
What?
He's like, I am your brother's cousin's sister's former roommate.
Yeah,
what does that make us?
You're the third.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
You're what you're
nothing.
about to become.
Yeah, you're the third person to make that joke. So, but either way, he's the one who.
Well, the first two just wish they were like me.
No, they were
Yeah, there
just
you go.
they were just first. No, he's the one who instilled the model building in me and teaching me how to paint and stuff like that way back when. So, you know,
I
he
had
left me with
aunts
a
and
valuable
uncles like
thing.
that growing up that weren't actually blood related. Like some of them weren't even some weren't even like yours, where they at least married somebody that used to be married. Like I had my Aunt Ann when I was growing up got me loving Scrabble at a very young age and started playing Scrabble, and she was zero relation to us. It was her and her husband, my Uncle Phil, were just good friends of my grandma's for like 40 years. There was zero relationship. But when I grew up, she was my aunt, he was my uncle.
Well, that's like Joe to Bobby's kids. He's their uncle. They call him their uncle, probably call him Uncle Joe,
Dolphin.
Uncle Dolphin. Yeah. And it's like there's no blood, there's no nothing, but he's their uncle as far as it matters. But like at least with my Aunt Dolores, she's my godmother. So you know, there's still the tie. There's still the tie in because she is my godmother. But you know, here's the irony. I've seen her more times in my life than my blood uncle that she was married to. And she lives in California. So it's like, they came to visit more often. Like, I think I was almost in my teens before I quote unquote met my Uncle Steve that she was married to. Like, I'm sure at some point when I was really little, he was probably around. But he was a trucker and like kind of was a loner. Like, so I knew my Aunt Dolores. I never knew my Uncle Steve, and he died 2 years ago. You know? Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on.
Well, it sucks. Condolences to both of y'all.
It's your turn now, Ricky. You're you're on the docket.
Don't put that shit on me, man.
It happens in threes. And there's three of us.
Don't put that shit on me. You could have two of them. Don't put that shit on me.
I do. It's like I've got so many. It's crazy. All right, so let's somehow transition to the boys.
Oh, we were talking about your Uncle Steve, who was a boy. So now let's talk about the boys. That's a segue, y'all.
That's a terrible segue.
It's still a segue.
At least I edited out the really bad segue from last week and put in the good segue from last week.
What was the bad segue?
The one where I didn't the moose being a really strange type of animal.
Oh, the unicorn thing or whatever.
No, how I transitioned from the moose conversation into Stranger Things by calling it a mystical, strange, supernatural creature. So that we had the conversation.
Y'all hear that? Shoky makes edits and cuts us out of it.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I edit a lot of shit.
The shame.
I'm gonna have to edit probably the whole first conversation that we had today, just for
do you
society's sake.
Drop it into a bonus?
You think that's fair, Ricky? Is that fair?
No.
Did I have editorial process?
Betrayal.
No.
Wow.
No, just that you have unilateral editorial issues.
Well, if I need to edit certain things, I ask you guys. Like the fact that we have a whole episode that I have not released.
No, if you
because we have not agreed to release it.
Segue, it needs to stay in instead of cleaning yourself up, trying to make it look like you did perfect and leaving our.
No, I gotta make it look good.
Leave your fuck up in.
I gotta make it look good.
But then he leaves our fuck up in. You hear that, Mike? You hear that?
Yeah.
No,
right?
believe me, I've edited y'all. I've edited y'all plenty to make you look good.
Wow.
And this is what
just
happens.
Don't.
This is what comes out.
No editing. Uncensored.
Yeah.
Free flow.
No,
that's right.
No, there's always necessary editing.
Like the second day of a period, free flow, motherfucker.
That's fucking right. Terrible.
Speaking of periods, let's talk about the boys.
No, what you should have said was speaking of massive blood. No.
How do you,
hold on.
Here's something that
here's the
and doesn't die.
No, here's the real segue. Speaking of massive blood flow, the Nerdgasm event. Yeah, there we go. It's like you actually had the good one. You went bad with
acceptable.
It. Yeah.
No.
So,
I like mine better.
It was terrible. I'm gonna leave the good one in. Either way.
I'm just gonna say fucked up shit now. So Shoky just has to edit it all out, and like y'all are gonna listen to these things, and you're gonna hear me say like 5 things and be like, "Wow, Ricky was really quiet this week." Nope, he fucking edited it all out.
And just like that, Ricky got
I've been
muted.
agreeing a lot with Ricky today.
Yeah, which is why you both need to be muted at this point. Okay, so we haven't really talked about the boys in depth because the three of us haven't been together in a couple of weeks to actually be able to have that conversation.
for last
or we
week.
ran out of time because I got yelled at about swimming pools.
Mhm.
So,
I was thinking it. Mike did it, dude.
you fuckers. Hey,
Thank
Mike,
you, thank you.
remember all those times you had to leave to go run to the store in the middle of the podcast?
Hey, Mike, by the way, you weren't here for it earlier, but I was right, dude. I 1000% called it. He told us earlier that when he got off to go to the pool, he had to spend 30 minutes trying to talk her into going to the pool because she said, "Nah, I don't even want to go to the pool." And I called that shit.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I fucking called it.
You did.
Yep.
This ain't my first rodeo. I've been married, motherfucker.
Oh God, yeah.
Either way, the boys.
21 years, dude. I know how it goes.
So let's talk. Let's talk about this season so far.
Speaking of being whipped, the boys
Whipped, tied up, beaten to a pulp.
That's a
sexually
segue,
abused.
y'all. That was a good segue too.
These
If
are
y'all seen
terrible segues.
Herogasm, that was a good segue.
Okay, so this whole season is fucking nuts. Like from the get go, where we go inside a person's penis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way,
Wow.
I haven't talked about it yet. When I was doing something, like when I was watching episode 1, I was doing something else, and I didn't see him shrink down and get in front of the guy. I looked up when it was like the super zoomed in thing as he's about to go in the hole. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is? Oh my God! I thought he was gonna go in his ass, and I think that was everybody else's thought.
I love the like overhead speakers of, yeah, keep going, you're almost to my prostate.
Which
Like,
he was
oh
not.
my
Let's be honest
God.
here. Like,
He was probably midway.
he wasn't even close. He was still in the shaft.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Midway.
Yeah, but like,
The
okay,
shaft.
so I also want to let's just.
Oh,
do you think
God.
that it's open
I
enough
might be
that
too
daylight
drunk
would
for
be
this
coming in?
conversation.
Do you
I
think
might
that?
be too drunk for this
Do you
conversation?
think
I'm
there
not
was-
drunk enough.
Yeah, I'm not having anything to drink. I'm very dehydrated. So
Oh, this Jameson is kicking in, man. I might be a little.
drink more water, Ricky. But
Nope,
I'm trying
not
to figure.
you. I will
out why
maintain.
there'd be so much light coming in through the urethra. That was a little like, damn, dude. How
good
much
I
point.
sound?
think it's because
He's
because
doing
of being
sounding.
that small, to be doing that small, like even a little bit of light would look like a bright light to you.
No, I just assumed they're doing a whole lot of sounding, and it's gaped a little bit.
You think you'd have a GoPro?
Oh, you're talking about the fucking
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
That.
No,
Don't look it up.
fucking
If you don't know what it is, don't look it up. Don't just do yourself a favor. Don't look
I'm
it
a
up.
minor 49er, and I'm
But-
going deep.
God damn. So, well, actually, I thought at that point, like he was gonna like.
I struck gold.
See, I thought
Well, he
actually
struck
he was
something.
gonna cover himself in coke and then go inside, and then like you get a little bit of combo, you know.
Those
but-
are the worst blowjobs ever, by the way. At least from what I've read in books.
Oh, I was going to say
from what I
personal
read in
experience?
books.
Yeah, it's
What books have you been
I
reading?
Not
was younger and dumber once upon a time and had my party life, and we'll just go with those are the worst blowjobs because they last for forever because you want a nut and you just can't.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
I've had some
Oh
on
my
a total
God.
unrelated.
Edit that, motherfucker.
No, I'm leaving that in just for you. I'm gonna edit out anything.
And
I
with
said.
that segue,
That's not a
let's take you
segue.
back your
Jameson.
past.
There were there's no real blowjobs in this season.
Oh,
Oh, except for an
shit.
octopus, technically speaking.
Yeah.
So the deep making up for eating his octopus friend, he was fucking an octopus in Herogasm.
Makes you wonder how that would feel, actually.
No,
you know
it
what
doesn't.
makes me mad about
No,
the
Especially
whole,
with the
the
beak.
whole what makes
Especially
me,
with the
yeah,
beak.
that would be horrifying. But the thing that makes me maddest about this episode is they spend so much time zooming in on dudes' asses and maintaining and dicks and all that stuff. That there's all these hot naked chicks walking around and they just flip
Like-
past them real
Yeah.
quick, right back to the dicks and asses. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Makes
You'd
you
think it
wonder.
was
Get some for
HBO.
all of us. Look, I want my gay friends to enjoy it, and I want to enjoy it too. Give us all something equal.
Yeah, and also the actual shot of the toilet cam later, that was also pretty
That was
Yeah.
it's just
Wow.
fucking
Homelander.
absurd.
Homelander was fucking
Dang.
awesome in that shit, dude. It's like, wow, look, a train could drive through there or some shit. What is that?
What
Subway
I
tunnel.
forgot. Wait, was that Homelander that said that, or what? No? That was
Yes.
no, that
Yeah.
wasn't. It was Homelander.
Yes,
No,
it was
wait,
Homelander when
wasn't
he
that-
walked up. When he walked up and the video was still playing
Oh,
behind them.
No, the Soldier Boy.
No, that was Soldier Boy.
Homelander wasn't
I don't
there
think
yet.
so.
Homelander didn't show up
I don't-
until he blew up everything.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, it was
Yeah,
Soldier Boy.
Boy.
One of them. That shit was funny, dude.
Dude, I'm loving Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy.
Isn't that the same guy from
Supernatural?
What? Yeah, Supernatural.
Yep.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I never watched Supernatural except for the first like 2 or 3 seasons, so it's been forever since I watched it.
So, according to an interview, he was supposed to take the place of in that one particular scene, but he turned it down. When he opened the door and got a face full.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy.
Or
look, Dad, I'm a farmer.
Is that what he said? I didn't catch what he said.
No, but that's what it made me think. That's what it made me think of.
Oh, I got you.
The fucking Freddy got fingered when he was milking the elephant.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. So also, I thought that Love Sausage was dead from season. Was it season 3? Was it or season 2? The guy
This is season 3.
Yeah, season 2. So sorry, I'm getting my shows confused. So he had to have been in season 2 because he was in the asylum. Yeah, because that was a Stormfront. He was one of the either patients or guards in that place where they were keeping the supers. But I thought he died. I guess not.
And Mother's Milk handled that way more like politically correct than I would have, because if that dick had come around my shoulder like that, I'd have punched him right in that motherfucker.
Well, I mean, also whoever massively exploded jizz all over him, that too.
That was him. It was that.
Was it?
His voice?
Okay, well, I didn't know it was him or somebody else, because either way, that was
no. It's his
horrific.
voice, because he says something about closing the door or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, I missed that then. Because I was just like too shocked. I was on board. I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's like, I need to find a bathroom.
He's
like, no, you need to find a power.
Jacket.
Oh yeah, the first. Yeah,
I'm like,
and also there was termite. So
this is really going.
So
far.
remember,
I don't think it's termite. I just think it's another super. Yeah,
no,
termite's still alive.
It was termite. It was termite because he popped out of that girl that was right there.
Yep.
And
so
he did end up getting stepped on though.
Yeah,
he did eventually.
No longer
correct.
alive.
Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah, he's no longer alive. So, real quick question since y'all have watched it.
Yeah.
Is one of his powers one of Soldier Boy's?
Yes.
Like when he does that nuclear explosion and kills everybody shit. Does it take away your superpowers? Is that what happened with
That's what happened with Kimiko.
Her name, like Kimiko.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that what he does to everybody? If you live, you lose your powers, or it just happened to affect her that way?
I believe that the way they're doing it, by the way, this is not one of his original powers. This is for the show. He was just super strong and all that kind of shit. And invulnerable.
Yeah, he was Captain America.
He was basically Captain America, yeah. So this is a new one. Basically, whatever this nuclear eruption that he has does neutralize V, apparently. Except his own, obviously. So the whole point was they either wanted him to be able to kill. So for people who are invulnerable or can heal, like Kimiko or Homelander, it would likely just neutralize their powers to the point that, they don't have, or maybe eventually they'll have time to heal. Because it looked like Kimiko's powers were slightly coming back this episode. Because
remember, she talks about the killer in her is just her. It's not the.
Yeah, but I'm saying like she was strong enough to just rip that dude's thumb back, and then like other things where it seemed like it would have had some.
I could do that to your thumb without.
Yeah, but the thing is that her power or is that just her skill?
That's her training.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is like it was either her power or either way. But
it's definitely just her training, because remember when they beat her ass, she's all fucked up and bleeding.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like
not her powers.
In theory, she'll end up taking some of the either synthetic or the V24 or some regular V to get her powers back.
Or they'll show that the removal of powers is only short
temporary.
They'll find out how long it lasts.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
so if she starts to heal,
week, and this week she has her powers back this week. So it think pauses them instead of takes them away.
So their goal, because I'm pretty sure they didn't think they would kill Homelander with the blast. Like they just assumed that it would neutralize his powers, and then they could kill him.
They were going to do it in this episode. I really thought they were going to pull that trigger on him, but he's everybody loves that character so much. He's going to come back.
No spoilers here. Do you know what happens to Homelander in the comics?
No, because remember I told you I only read the first
so I'm not gonna
because I've never read it.
I'm not gonna tell.
Just fucking say it.
No,
dude,
I'm not.
The same thing, and I already know that whatever they did to kill him in the comics has already been ruined in the show.
But it hasn't. That's the thing. So
yeah, they from what friends have told me, they already changed something that would.
That's what they're referring to. I mentioned this last week. I believe is a red herring, because I think that they are going, because so many other things are the same. or at least very similar in the storyline, that it's entirely plausible that that particular red herring, and like I said, I don't want to spoil anything because I know there's a lot of people who really just don't want to. It's not for your benefit, it's for other people's.
I wanted Termite to shoot up his pee hole and sneeze again, but we know that.
I don't think
now.
See, I don't think that would affect
So basically
Homelander.
the whole Ant-Man Thanos thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, here's the thing: is that a lot of people say even if Ant-Man tried to do that, that Thanos is made of tougher material, and literally Ant-Man would crush himself trying to expand inside. So the thing is,
Maybe.
it's the same thing with Homelander. He's too invulnerable. Odds are it wouldn't even affect him. Though apparently
We'll
you
never
can.
know.
Apparently you can at least burn him with laser eyes. So much like
Yeah.
Stormfront got blasted by the kid, lost most of her body and was completely scarred, and then couldn't even heal from it. So
Was I the only one that was mad that they didn't show Starlight naked?
No.
Yes.
I mean, you can see her tits in a couple episodes, so I mean, it is.
No, they don't. They show you side boob. It's not the same thing.
Even if it's her.
I'm not 13 years old with the fucking broken up HBO trying to catch a side boob. I'm a grown ass adult. I want to see it naked.
I think if the actress doesn't want it, I'm perfectly okay with it not happening, because I also don't want to see.
Oh my god!
What? I'm a 13-year-old. Dude, there's a million other tits in this show. Why do you need to see hers?
Because she's
the main character.
Yeah, either way. Also, I think it's kind of bullshit that they just sort of removed Maeve from the situation. Considering
I don't think she's fully gone. I think
no, she's gonna have to come back because she does have a point in the comics that, you know, she does have a death in the comics, so she does die. Most everybody dies anyway, so it doesn't matter. Whoever it is and whoever does it.
But you won't spoil what happened with Homelander.
Well, you know he dies. I'm not going to tell you how he dies. I'm not going to tell you how Maeve dies. I'm not going to tell you how anybody else is going to die. But the point is, most of them die.
Spoilers, dickhead. That's still a spoiler.
You want to tell you? You want to tell you who doesn't die?
The carrot.
Who doesn't die?
The baby with the laser eyes from the first season.
His son?
Not his son. The one that was in the hospital that Butcher found. Remember the one that had the blue laser eyes that he was using on the guys, where he's there holding the kid and he's like,
"Oh, that one."
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying it. We don't actually know what happened to that baby. But either way, that's when they figured out that that's when they figured out the soups were all manufactured. They pumped them full of fucking things. I do want to know if we'll ever see Newman's daughter with powers, because she injected her with real V to give her powers to hopefully protect her in the future. But
you heard her screaming and stuff and starting to go through the chain.
Yes, but we don't know what, if anything, because she might just get
she
some
might
cool
end up
powers.
being the person that can take out Homelander.
Well, I think Homelander's son probably could, in theory. I mean, he's got the same strength. Well, not strength, but powers.
That would be an equal. That'd be Superman fighting Superman. That doesn't lead to a death.
Well, Superman can kill Superman.
No, he can't, because that other Superman being vulnerable to Superman.
Doomsday does it.
Doomsday is not Superman.
Yes, he is.
No, in the stupid DCEU continuity he is, but he is not in the comics.
He's a Kryptonian creature that was invented to continually
not in the comics.
die.
He wasn't.
What?
That was a retcon.
Oh, a retcon. That's a thing that keeps happening, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's comics. Of course, they have to retcon shit.
DC. That's why their sales are tanking.
Shit.
Well, Marvel does it all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. I agree. Yeah, Marvel as well, right? But we were just mentioning DC. So
things are tanking because people go
bad.
digital instead of hard copy.
I know. God.
Yeah, that's actually what does it. That's why I buy hard copy stuff. Try to keep those sales numbers up.
I don't. I think they should just go all digital at this point. Oh, that was a 3-hour alarm.
Nope, I'm at 2 hours and 52 seconds.
So why'd you have an alarm for?
I don't have an alarm for it.
Oh, then Mike must have had an alarm because he muted.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering whose alarm that was, because
that was my wife's mom calling.
It's not an alarm; it's a phone ringing. It sounds. It was just convenient that it was nearly
sounds
3
like
hours.
an alarm.
What's funny is it's literally like right at the 3 hour.
This is your wake up call.
So either way, so the one point that I wanted to bring up was, so we've already talked about Obi Wan being a disappointment for certain people. We've talked about.
Not for me.
I said for certain people.
Yeah.
We talked about Moon Knight.
He meant Mike.
We talked about Moon Knight being
also a disappointed Mike.
Okay, but I'm also talking about a lot of people who have issues with these adaptations of comic books that don't follow canon or don't follow the way it was written a million years ago, and why some of them
Said a million years ago when Mike was a kid.
exactly back in the days of the
Way
dinosaur.
back when.
But the
When
point,
dinosaurs.
So-
When
roamed the earth.
dinosaurs ruled the world.
so well, the point is, Mike
I
has,
should have said that more like what's that guy?
Attenborough.
That did the Earth
Yeah.
series. Yeah, Attenborough.
yeah, be like David Attenborough.
Way back when yeah, okay, never mind. Can't do that. Can't do that.
No.
Yet.
You got to do different. Yeah. Anyways, so but
Yeah.
the point is, Mike is very much that demographic that doesn't want to get very far away from canon, and any of these shows and or movies that are either deviating way off or just making a lot of different adjustments or combining different storylines rub them the wrong way. You know, even sometimes, you know, there's certain Batman stuff that probably rubs you that way, Ricky, but you know,
Mine is more as long as the spirit of the character stays the same.
Yeah.
I'm okay with changes. I don't like total continuity, like canon destroying stuff. Like I
Yeah.
don't like it has to be a whole other thing, like Flashpoint, where they changed it to where Bruce died instead of his parents. That's
Where
the
it's
only way they
it's
can
a
make that
whole
work. If
separate
in the
universe.
if in the main Batman story they're like, oh, you know what, we're gonna rewrite it this time, and now his parents don't die, like that would be fucking dumb, and I wouldn't like that Batman.
Okay. Well,
Right.
so for instance, like I said, with Mike and Moon Knight, we'll just say this. So from Mike's point of view, from the Moon Knight stories that he has as his version of canon.
Oh, and in case y'all missed that episode, Mike loved Moon Knight. It was his favorite TV show.
I'm not trying to
ever.
start this tangent.
so marvelous.
But my point is, there's a large group of people who want as little deviation from the source material.
Mhm.
And
Right.
generally it hurts their enjoyment of a show or a movie, whatever it might be, you know, because obviously Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, just doing whatever the hell they want at this point. However, when it comes to The Boys, which, you know, obviously graphic novel slash comic book series, really does deviate quite a bit. Like, I mean, the overall storyline is roughly the same. This,
Okay.
you know, the plot points are roughly the same, and now knowing how it ends, we'll see. But there's a lot of characters that have changed. Like Mike has talked previously about race and gender swapped characters, right? You know, whether they're switching men to women, making somebody black, Asian, whatever, when they're something else.
Right.
For instance, a major change in The Boys TV show. Season 1. You know, you remember Madeline Stillwell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Elizabeth Shue. You're talking about Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth
right?
Shue's character, that character doesn't exist. She
Well, they do that a lot in shows. Like
on.
they did that with
Hold
The
on.
Walking Dead.
Yep.
Shane didn't exist.
Yeah, they add this. What? No, Shane existed. It was
No,
Daryl.
he
Daryl doesn't
died.
exist.
No.
Well, they
no,
altered
no.
the story. Yes,
Shane-
you're right. You're right.
No. John Barenthal's character
Uh-huh.
dies in the first comic of The Walking Dead. I had all of them.
Okay.
He dies
Hmm.
in the very first comic of The Walking Dead. In the
Okay.
show, they kept him in because all the stuff he did and said in that show
Mhm.
was in the comics was internal monologue inside Rick's head, and they had no way to show it in the show, so they kept him alive and had him act out the stuff that Rick was thinking in the comics.
Okay. Well, let's actually go back to The Walking Dead here in a minute because it's a good point too. Also, adaptation from the comics that's shifted quite a bit from the original source material.
Mhm.
So, okay, so
the baby dies in the comics.
Okay.
When the mom dies in the prison, when she gets shot in the comics, the bullet goes through her and kills the baby Judy at the same time.
Judas, yeah, I'm aware. Okay, so what I was getting at, so Madeline Stillwell is a man in the comics and is
Mhm.
actually closer to the Stan Edgar character,
Gotcha.
who controls everything at Vought, keeps Homelander in check.
Talking about the Carlos Esposito character?
Yes.
Okay.
Giancarlo Esposito. Yep. So they split those two characters and wrote in Madeline Stillwell. Like Edgar doesn't exist at all. You know, that's not a
Mhm.
character in the comics. So
Right.
and also is a white dude. So they really changed this up. So they took a white dude, split him into two separate characters. That's one
White woman
technically
and a
Hispanic.
Hispanic male.
Yeah, Hispanic male and a white woman. So they gave Homelander a weird Oedipus complex with Stillwell. And then
Interesting.
very
Which
much
isn't in the comics, I take it.
nope. because she doesn't exist in the comics. And then also one major differential plot wise is that remember in episode 1 when Starlight is made to blow the deep, as it were, to go deep on the deep. It was actually Black Noir, the Deep, and Homelander who all made her give him blowjobs. So like that was her original in the comic books. So they've changed. I mean, that's a minor thing, but it also changes relationships
Her
to
interactions
characters.
with Homelander and Noir. Yeah,
Exactly. The Deep himself is a bit different. Noir is different. A-Train isn't. I believe A-Train is white in the comics, not black. Like I know there's other racial swaps there.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy is similar but fairly different. I know it's an older, different character there, but other characters are like amalgam characters, like they've kind of slapped them together a little bit. And one thing that's really interesting is actually the portrayal of Huey. With what is it? Jack
Randy
Quaid.
kid.
Jack Quaid, yeah. So if you know in the comics,
Which, by the way, when he's in a suit, looks like a fucking young Randy Quaid.
Oh, he does. It's the first episode when he's at the movie premiere. That was great. And I love that they put him up finally face to face with Homelander, and he's taller than Homelander. I thought that was funny. The other thing is that while Huey's character hasn't changed completely, some of his motivation is a little different, but also his image is very different, and it's actually due to the fact of what the comic book character was based on. If you don't know this, Simon Pegg was the original impetus.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, was his impetus for Huey, and looks just like him in the comics, which is why Simon Pegg plays his dad in the series. And looks, I mean, he's got the goatee, he's got the buzz down hair. It looks very much like the Shaun of the Dead era,
right?
Simon Pegg. So a little bit different there. Mother's Milk, his origin is different in the comics, and his relation to supers, and the reason why his name is Mother's Milk has not been brought up at all in the show, and it has very much to do with everything in the comics. Because either he is or his mom was a super, and there's a reason why Mother's Milk is important. So that's not even a part of the show at all, at least so far. I do think his parents died because of Soldier Boy. I think that's still part of the storyline. It's just how.
Well, they said the
have
grandfather
evolved.
died because of Soldier Boy.
Well, eventually his parents did, because his dad died trying to investigate. But yes, his grandfather, this episode specifically, but the rest of his family isn't around at all. But I do love, just side note, the tie-in of he admits that's when his OCD kicked in.
Yeah,
I love
like that.
Yeah, that was
his whole thing about his OCD. If I don't check the stove, if I make sure all the burners aren't off, Homelander, or not
My
Homelander,
family will die.
Yeah, my family will die, or Soldier Boy will come back. And that is like so real. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, because I do personally have a couple tiny OCD things, and some of it is like superstition based in that manner.
I do the same thing.
If,
my OCD kicks in at night. I do the walk around and check all the doors and windows and latch all the top locks and all that. I can't go to bed without checking those things.
Yeah.
And if I checked them and forgot that I checked them, I will get up out of bed to go check them.
Yeah. Usually I'll do things in pairs.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just weird.
That makes sense. I mean, mine's not that bad, but it is kind of a belief that if I do something this way, then this is definitely going to happen this way. So I can't do it that way.
And everything I do is in increments of 3, which I thought was cool that he also did stuff in increments of 3.
Yeah, he has a rhythm when he taps or whatever.
I drive my wife nuts. Like even the volume on the TV has to be divisible by 3. Like if it's too soft,
I do it by 5.
OCD. Well, we knew you're OCD.
If it's too soft at 21 and too loud at 24, oh the fuck well, it's gonna be at 24 because I want to be able to hear the goddamn show, and it has to be divisible by 3.
21 is divisible by 3.
I'm saying if it's too soft, if the volume's too low. Like if the perfect volume was 22 or 23, you're gonna go loud at 24. I'd rather be loud than too soft.
No prime numbers.
Divisible by 3.
No prime numbers.
See, and I do it by 5.
3, 7, and 21. Those are my numbers, man.
That makes sense. So, let's see. What are some of the other differences? Okay. So
I'm not crazy,
but
I
think most people outside of people who are just against the show in general, like it's not for them, all love the show. Even fans of the comics love the show despite the differences. Now, let's talk about The Walking Dead, because that's a good point, because that really deviates from the comics like fairly quickly.
A lot, and very quickly.
Like
That's what I hear.
because I think it's close up until the prison, right? Like, and that's when it really deviates.
Nope. I told you the fact that Shane is alive is a huge, massive difference.
Okay, well that's one. I'm talking about just in general the storyline, not just the character differences. But
kind of. It really starts to deviate when they get to the CDC. That's where the big deviations start. Who survives and gets out of that is where
that part's true.
Bad.
Well, because Carol dies.
Carol dies in the comics
earlier on, right?
Nope, she dies in the movie. She dies in the prison. She dies in the prison, like
I said earlier on.
No, her and the black guy get like
Sea-Dog.
into the, I want to say the gym or something, and they get swarmed by zombies.
That's how Sea-Dog died in the show. Yeah.
Yep, and in that one, Carol dies at that.
I can't believe I remembered that character's name. I haven't watched that show in like 4 years.
Yep, and then the Michonne and Rick thing never happens. Michonne dies in the comics.
Yeah.
Is that show even done yet?
Yes.
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
The main series is done.
I think it's this season is their last season.
I thought it was done.
Yeah, I think there was a little spin-off.
Well, because there's at least 2 spin-offs, and they were going to do the Rick movies.
Yeah, but Michonne, like, you remember the part where it showed the whispers or whatever?
Yeah,
they came in. Well, in the comics,
I know of them, but I have not watched that far.
They close off one of the comics series. The very last thing you see is the whispers had killed a bunch of the people that we follow, the survivors, and they staked their heads like in a straight line, like marking territory. Like, if you come over, this is our territory over here, and they staked all their heads along the line. The king was dead. The guy with the tiger, his head was on there. Michonne's head was on there.
They hate dreadlocks.
A whole bunch of people's heads were on these spikes that are still alive in the show, or were still alive in the show.
Yeah,
Morgan dies early in the comics.
Oh, sorry, it took me a minute. Yeah, Morgan lasted like forever. Like, I mean, even to the point they brought him into Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, but in the comics he dies. I said.
Yeah,
the guy with the stick, like, he's very early on.
Okay, so
Judith dies very early on. Carl
dies.
Lives. Like, they do a jump. No.
He dies in the show. That's the difference. Yeah.
In the comics, after that spiked head part, they do a time jump in the comics. And in the comics, Carl takes over the leaders.
Yeah, it takes over for Rick.
Survivors. Yeah. And he's still alive as an adult in the comics.
Yeah.
So that's a massive change.
So, okay. So, opinions on The Walking Dead as a show then. You know,
it was enjoyable. The parts that I watched, I can't remember. I watched up to a little bit after the Negan stuff. I loved Negan. I thought he did a perfect job translating Negan to
Jeffrey Dean Morgan was amazing as Negan. Now, I didn't even see all of it. I've only seen up to into the season after they killed Glenn, and like when he's like,
that part where he killed Glenn, perfect out of the they
replicated that just
like
the way
that in the comics, but the way he died was perfect.
Yeah, they did that the way it needed to be. Well, because up till that point they were teasing Glenn's death, and you're like, okay, he's gonna be fine. He just survived 3 episodes where he should have died.
Underneath the garbage can, underneath the dumpster thing. That wasn't in the comics. That was the show.
A lot of it wasn't. I mean, even
Daryl
the
doesn't exist at all in the comics.
Yeah.
Daryl does not exist at all.
Yeah,
at all in the comics. He's never talked about, mentioned, or shown. He's not in the comics at all.
No, he doesn't. He's not. But his brother was.
The way the governor dies is different in the comics.
Yes. So the point is, it's an adaptation that at least for a while people really did enjoy and thought was some of the best TV. And I agree. I don't know about Mike. I know we're talking about it. How far did you get into Walking Dead, Mike?
Probably 2 seasons.
Okay, so
I haven't. Yeah, the first 2 seasons. Okay, I haven't watched it.
We just spoiled a lot for you.
Yeah, we spoiled a lot for you.
So wait,
I'm not big on.
So that you didn't get out of the farm season, because the farm season was
he didn't even get. I don't think he got to the farm.
No, season 2.
No, I don't think so.
No, they get to the farm in season 2.
Okay.
Season 3 is,
and that plays out different in the comics than it does in the show too.
Yeah,
that whole entire part plays out different.
So I think because Kirkman, along with why am I drawing a blank on who wrote the comics?
Robert Kirkman wrote
Okay, so Kirkman
yeah.
was involved on both ends, so he was there even with the adaptation.
because he's like the head of Image right now.
Oh yeah.
something like
So to have the creator even come in and create a different version of the same story, but adapted to TV, because I mean they could have done it straight out of the comics, or at least really close to the comics. But
The stuff that they changed was acceptable. There was a couple of them that I thought, like the Judith thing, I understand why they didn't.
they don't want to
because
kill a
that
baby.
that would have been hard to show on TV, but that is a very important drive in the comics. The death of his daughter pushes Rick over the limits a lot.
Well, Lori died differently too, right?
Lori died giving birth.
Yeah, so she didn't die.
No.
What?
Lori died like in the show because Lori was holding Judith. And when she got shot, the bullet went through her because she turned her back. And when she got shot through the back, the bullet went through her and hit the baby. That's how the baby died. They both died at the same time.
So technically died different in a way. It definitely didn't have a horrible getting completely eaten somehow by a zombie, and then Carl.
That was in the show where she was giving birth or whatever, and they got her inside.
Well, Carl cut Judith out of her, and then the zombie ate her.
Returned.
Yeah. No, she wasn't dead yet. She was still alive at that point. She hadn't died yet. She died during that, and then that zombie ate her.
That was definitely different. No, in the book, they're escaping, like they're getting out and running, like she's out in the open, trying to run across the courtyard.
Yeah,
and a bullet went through her and hit the baby.
And if I remember correctly,
they played that, and they played that up in the comics. Like you don't realize it at first. Like they played it up. It wasn't until they went to check her body that you realized the baby got hit too. Like they did a great job of that.
So
and I'm gonna tell you one of my favorite things about the comics. All black and white. There's not.
No color.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I think they should have kept red, like for blood, and that's it. But that's my opinion.
Nope. I like it just how it was. It was perfect.
So, Mike, since we've talked about a couple things, what's a good show or movie that has been adapted from
that was a good adaptation.
Yeah, a good adaptation. And it could be a movie or a show, either way.
God, I'm really gonna have to rack my brain here.
Because you hate everything, so now we got to find something that's good.
Oh God, no!
You've hated every modern adaptation so far.
I don't hate.
He doesn't hate the Man Show.
No, I do not.
That's a callback, y'all.
I do like how they did Captain America: First Avenger.
Yeah.
For example, I mean,
that's pretty close to the source material.
It is very close to the source material, right? And I do understand in a way that they had to make it Hydra instead of Nazis, right?
Well, they tied them together, but it wasn't specific.
They did, they did, right?
No, but in the original comics, it was straight up Nazis.
No, yeah,
it was precisely, right? Because obviously they were the bad guys, and Jack Kirby did fight in World War II. And I mean, he was over there. He was literally fighting. Oh no,
Stan Lee was over there too.
Well, yes, yeah, but I mean,
he just didn't fight. He was writing. The papers
when Jack came up with the character, basically. Working with Timely, before it was Marvel. I mean, all that stuff came from real life experiences and whatnot.
Yeah,
and I understand that nowadays. In our political climate of some sort, and some people are just really overly sensitive about stuff, using Hydra instead of full-blown Nazis all the time.
As one of those people who would be super sensitive about it, I was okay with it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt me either way. But
no, it wouldn't hurt because it would stay really true.
Because it was a dead giveaway. Having them put the Hydra symbol in a white circle on a red armband, that's close to putting Nazis
and in a way, they kind of played it as a division.
It was it was a science division. I mean, so
that's right.
So pseudoscience division.
So I was okay with that, right? That's fine, right? Because it's World War II.
And the changes to Bucky, where he's an adult, not a kid.
Yeah,
that was a big change.
That's a big change, but it works.
That is a big change, but when you really think about it, come on, this is the army. I mean, I know a lot of kids lied about their age, saying they were 18.
Yeah, but he was like young. He was like 13 or 14.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly,
he was Steve's ward, basically. Robin.
Yeah, he was Robin.
Batman kind of thing.
I think the only thing they should have left out was making him part of like.
to show a kid in a real world, a quote unquote real world wartime situation.
Would have been too much, but I think they should have
Yeah.
left him out of the Howling Commandos. I don't think he should have been part of that.
Well, he wasn't
No,
there
I don't
for
think so
long.
either. But it plays up to, the later on episodes, right? How that all comes into play.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm, the way the Captain America movies were written and especially the first Avengers was really well done. Really, really well done. I was
Agreed.
okay with the slight deviations here and there, but only because it had to explain a certain narrative of the period that they were in.
Mhm.
Same with
And,
Winter Soldier and Civil War. I think Captain America
the Captain
adaptations
America
were the
adaptations
best
are all good.
ones.
Yeah,
Dude, Civil
exactly.
War is so
the
different.
Russo brothers did it very, very well.
Yeah.
So
Even with they
So-
had big changes in Civil War
Huge.
and big changes in Winter Soldier, and they
But
still
the-
worked
but the
because
two
they
of
were
the
trying to
but
best
only
smooth
because only because you didn't have a full blown Marvel hero set to work,
and also
with, right?
because
You
the
only
lead
had a
hero
very
was a
confined-
male.
That
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
So,
but
okay.
no, the Russo brothers did very well sticking to a lot of the canon, and I'm happy with that.
It's
So-
like what I said about Batman. They kept the spirit of the story the same. They just changed
Yes.
like the outer layers of it, which
Okay.
is
Yeah.
which is where an
So-
adaptation
Because
falls in
because at
perfectly.
some point you had to take certain
Liberties.
Liberties.
artistic liberties, right, to make it work on celluloid, on film,
so
on TV.
so like
right?
so like Moon Knight.
certain.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit there in the air.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, he's
I know.
right. He's still it's the same liberties, but it was
Mhm.
less acceptable.
But well, yeah, exactly. Because I like it. Yeah, sticking straight to the original story because that's how I know, and that how over time it builds up.
so this
what
so,
we know the character as.
so this brings up the
And-
question that I wanted to dig at is
But
where-
when you're retconning entire characters,
Yeah.
when they were originally male instead of female, when they're bad guys instead of good guys,
what
then I get
about
a
Nick
problem.
Fury? What about Nick Fury, who's been
well,
completely
because-
and fundamentally changed?
Well, yeah,
well, that was
but I
in the
mean,
comics long before
I mean,
the movie.
early
Mhm.
on,
No,
like
it
it was
wasn't.
kind of explained where a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's going to be the Ultimates universe," right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so in the Ultimates universe, Nick Fury's black. So like, okay, well then if that's going to be kind of like that part of the canon, so to speak,
Mhm.
right? Like that alternate universe canon,
Yeah.
then all right, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So I am
So
because I knew it wasn't going to be, I knew in a way it wasn't going to be like a direct translation of 616, right? Instead
Okay.
it was going to be Ultimates universe. So I expected that those slight, or that universe was going to be played on as a base.
which a lot of it pretty much has.
Yes, but now it's become a real, I don't know, a mishmash almost.
Yeah, it's its own.
Since after Infinity War.
Well, since now we know that this is supposedly, or they've previously, up until very recent movie, that still is a dumb explanation. It's not
See-
616, but
Yeah, well, no, it's definitely 6-1. No, it's definitely
yeah, it's not 616. It's 616 from their point of view. But either way,
Yeah.
not having
From
that
a
argument
certain
again
point of view,
from
that's
yeah.
all back
from
to-
the from the
but the thing
318
is-
universe.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with it, and the same thing with Iron Man, the first Iron Man series, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that story sucks so close to canon, but of course you have to update it because now we're not at war in Vietnam. It's it's the Middle East, it's Afghanistan,
Yeah.
or wherever it was, right? So I can understand that bit of an upgrade to it, but they still stuck to the spirit, to
So
pretty much how Iron Man became Iron Man.
So to you guys, both of you guys, what makes a good versus bad adaptation?
is when they keep the spirit
Is-
the same and only change the outer layers.
Okay, but whenever they really start, but okay, so which layers are allowed to be changed? Because say like the boys, we've already talked about how there's a lot of layers been changed, but we still
See,
but it's
I-
still a
It-
good.
but it
adaptation.
didn't change. It didn't change the spirit of it. The reason behind the story is still the same.
But it's changed
See,
character
and
motivation.
I haven't-
it's changed
and I-
entire whole characters. Okay, The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead.
And I haven't read The Boys.
Yeah.
Or or the Walking Dead comics,
Yeah.
right? Because for a long time, I just haven't really read any comics.
Which is the previous
So-
baggage and expectation conversation we had.
Yeah.
right.
so
That's
So
one
I'm
of the
going
things I said
into-
is I think everybody's loving The Boys because very few people have a preconceived notion of what it should be.
right, because it was released by what, Dynamite Comics, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a very
So-
under the radar comics that
Yeah.
people read 40 years ago if they were lucky, and it was a very small number of people that read
40?
it. So
It's not that old.
that The Boys was written in the late 80s.
No,
No,
Dynamite
it's
Comics.
far more
this was
modern,
like the
dude.
past 10 years.
No. I think so.
2006 is when it came out, and it's lasted 72 issues, I believe it was, to 2012. And then it had a
2002
bunch
is
of-
when it came out?
6.
Damn,
Yeah.
I was way off. I thought that was
Yeah.
an 80s comic. I
Two-
thought that came
2006.
out like
no,
the same
no,
time as,
no,
like
this
Watchmen
is
It's
and
modern,
modern
dude.
era.
Yeah, it's
This
a
is
modern
modern
time.
era.
Okay.
And then,
I'm
a
allowed to
bunch
be
of
wrong every
spin-offs
once in a
and
while.
whatnot.
Okay, so how about this?
So,
though?
but Dynamite Comics is, is pretty, I don't want to say low key, but
Uh-huh.
it's not
So-
well known.
So here's a good point, and it might be something that all three of us are familiar with. The Watchmen movie. Good or bad?
Oh, the ending.
No, just the whole thing.
It-
As
great,
a whole.
great movie.
The whole
great
thing,
movie.
I thought it was
I
it
don't
was
like how
good.
they
The-
spoiled the ending.
Yeah, the giant octopus monster was a bit much, but the movie was pretty good, man. I kind of liked it. Like,
But is it
and
a
a lot of
good
people hated it.
adaptation, even though it's changed?
I think it did because it stayed to the spirit. Even the big octopus monster stayed to the spirit because the comic kind of left it ambiguous what it was that was destroying everything. They just gave you something to focus on in the movie.
Don't. My phone was supposed to be on
and-
silent. What the fuck?
I know a lot of people hate the show. They're like, oh, it made Rorschach look like a racist prick and blah blah blah. That's how he was in the comics. He was that asshole in the comics. They
Mhm.
just didn't really show it in the movie.
I mean, yeah, because he didn't quite get to see as much of him. But
They changed some
I
stuff
don't-
like the
Where-
the joke, not the Joker. What did they call him? The comedian.
comedian.
Like his story is a little more drawn out and important in the comics than it was in the movie.
yeah,
It's
they
kinda-
minimized it, but it's still mostly there.
I think they did a pretty good job with it.
So hold on, maybe I'm misremembering, but there was no giant octopus monster in the movie.
No, there wasn't. They
The-
totally
I call
edited out
So
the
it
ending.
was in the comics, not in the movie.
It was in the comics, not the movie. They
Okay, I got them switched up.
in the comic or the graphic novel. He created fake aliens as his excuse.
Yeah.
In the movie, he just detonated similar bombs. The same thing as Dr.
That's what it was, 'cause
Manhattan's.
they
energy.
used
Yeah.
they used the aliens excuse in the TV show.
Yeah. 'cause
And then what
that's
happens
that's
to
a more direct
Rorschach
adaptation.
is a total flip.
Yes.
Which upset me because the comic it's a brilliant story. Loved it. And up to the point in the Watchmen movie, great.
Be
Super.
careful saying
Because
it
of-
was brilliant because the bearded British wizard will hear you and take your soul.
Yeah, well, whatever.
So wait, hold on.
because
What's
I
the
mean,
difference with
we-
Rorschach?
I gotta remember because it's been
Because I
so
thought
many
he
years
died the
since I
same
watched it.
way in the comic. I thought it was almost word for word the way he died.
Kind of.
It was the
there-
same.
Yeah. So
Mm,
Ricky's
I think, you're,
misremembering.
there was
I think
like-
you're misremembering that part.
There was
No. I know that there was something different about it. I have to go back and remember because it's been so long.
It might have been that he
I
didn't
think
have it. I'm pretty sure because he had his mask off. He did get
Yeah, and
used-
he wasn't redheaded in the comics.
No, that was just what is it, Jackie Earl Haley or whatever his name is.
No,
Freddy.
but there was something about the message during that whole dialogue right before he gets killed. Something
Some of those things were
gets
slightly
switched around.
Some of those things were slightly changed. I will give
Yeah,
you
they
that.
changed it from
But-
about
but I mean-
being
but I
about because they had to change it from being about the Cold War, so they had to change
Yeah, it's
some
not
of the
about
stuff
the
they
Cold
were
War,
saying.
it's
Because the
slightly-
original
No,
comics
no,
was
no,
talking
it was-
about the
it
Cold
was-
War.
No, but it was something else. And right
Like
now I can't put
in
my finger on it.
2000 and whatever it was, the movie came out. You can't be like, the commies are coming to get us. They're gonna knock
Yeah.
down the iron wall and come and get. It wouldn't make any sense at this point. So
No,
they had to change
but
some of it.
it wasn't about the commie thing or anything like that. It was
The big
something
blue
else.
dong was a bit much. I didn't think I needed to see that, but it was.
See, I'm
still-
glad I watched the
it
edited
matched-
version first.
It matched.
But I mean,
the
no,
comics,
I
and
loved it
thought he
because it
was
went pretty
perfect
much
as Dr.
panel-
Manhattan.
Yeah,
But it pretty much went panel for panel, scene by scene, exactly the same way. And
now
it was
now
great.
now
It
there
was
were
awesome.
there was definite now the thing is, like, I read it I read the book after long after I saw the movie, so you know I saw the differences as it were. But so many things were kept like pretty much on the dot, or they were just slightly modified for. I think they
modern interpretation.
Yeah, so like I think what was it? Owlman and what's her face? I think it was one generation off from in the comics. It was like originally the old ones, not the new ones. Stuff like that, you know, minor things. Also for I don't know if any of you guys have read the Doomsday Clock comics that continue this.
No.
Yeah, so that
you talking about the DC ones where they did the crossover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that continues that storyline directly. But actually, the funny thing is it copies it, I believe. No, I guess it's.
Well,
it
they use that.
the
They
movie.
use that to say Dr. Manhattan is the reason for the multiverse.
Yeah, that's where they expanded on how they bring it into the DC universe, which is interesting. So either way, but I'm just saying I like that continuity continued on even after what happened in the movie / book. But I talking out of my ass a little bit, at least from my own point of view. I thought that was a really good adaptation and a good movie. A lot of people all don't agree specifically. I think Sin City.
Those same people probably didn't like the comics either.
Yeah,
I'm
talking about it being an adaptation. But I'm talking about
it's not a fast action past story.
It's a
very
slow.
It's a very
cerebral. Yeah. So, but I'm talking about
it's like From Hell, the comic versus the movie, the graphic novel. The graphic novel is super slow, super long, and there is so much left out in the movie because it would have made that movie a boring slog. Like it would have been horrible.
Okay, so aside from Moon Knight, Kenobi, almost everything else in the Marvel universe, what would be considered a bad adaptation from graphic novel / comics or any other source, manga / anime issues too?
The Justice League.
I'll say, well, I wouldn't even say that's an adaptation because that's just like its own fucking story. It's not, not directly.
They were talking about the formation of the Justice League, and that is a bad adaptation for how it actually happened.
Well, what I'm getting at is there's not a direct. Okay, so The Boys, one story, one series, going 1-to-1. We're not talking about a giant branched off thing that they can pick and choose from.
I picked one thing. I picked Justice League #1, where they formed the Justice League, and this is nothing like that.
Well, the thing is that they weren't trying to adapt that. Justice League was not an adaptation; it was a version of it. They said we're using this as our source.
The adaptation of Doomsday, the whole Doomsday Zod thing was fucking dumb.
Okay, we'll say that.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
The whole Batman versus Superman movie was not a good adaptation.
That 100% makes sense because that is a really bad adaptation of the Dark Knight Returns.
Was great parts in that movie. I don't hate it for the same reasons that other people hate it. I actually liked Batman in that movie. I did not think he was off character. Like they're like, oh, he's killing people. I'm like, he's supposed to be like at the Frank Miller level Batman. Yeah. He's not Batman year one in this movie. So it was okay to me.
Yeah.
It took a lot from it. Like when I first saw it, I was like, oh fuck no. And then I watched, like, that's from the trailers. And then I watched the movie and I saw more of the stuff leading up to it. And I was like, okay, that makes more sense. Like when you look at it from that direction. Yeah. I thought he was good. I thought Superman good. I thought Wonder Woman was good. I thought the story that they wrote to bring them together was bad. I thought the Zod and Doomsday thing was a total fuck up.
Yeah.
And I thought that I actually liked Lex Luthor in that movie because I don't look at him as Lex Luthor. I look at him as Alexander Luthor.
He's Junior.
Like from the
he is Junior
Superman comics. But no, this isn't. Not even that. Not even whether he's the old one or the young one. Alexander Luthor was a clone of Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I know.
Because Lex Luthor was dying from cancer from wearing the kryptonite.
I'm aware.
Kryptonite rings. So
so it would.
I am a fan of his and how they portrayed him. That little twitchy fucking blibbity blop and how he talked and acted. Everybody hated that. I thought it was perfect. I thought it nailed it.
And I think that you're right. I think the problem is they took two of the biggest storylines with the Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman and tried to smash it together.
Smash them into 1 2-hour movie.
Yeah. So they wanted their Avengers. They wanted their Avengers.
I've said that since day one.
Yeah.
Marvel took 10 years to build up to a full-blown Avengers.
Yeah.
Universe changing story, like with the Infinity Gauntlet story.
Yeah.
DCEU saw how much money they were making.
Decided
to skip that.
Yeah, they just
If
Yeah,
they had been
exactly.
smart and done the Batman movies separately like they're supposed to, like
Yeah.
Man of Steel was a good movie. I still don't agree with
It
the
is.
Zod death in that movie, but
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
So hold on.
And if they'd done the Batman movie, and if they'd done the Wonder Woman movie at that time, if they'd done a Flash movie at that time, if they'd done a Cyborg movie at that time, and then did a Justice League movie, I think we'd all be talking about the DCEU way different than we do now.
Didn't they also put Batman v Superman up against Civil War? Was it Civil
think
War
they
or
did.
Winter Soldier? It was a Captain America movie for sure.
I know it's
It
one of the
wasn't-
two. Yeah, I
It
think
wasn't Winter.
might be
It
Civil
wasn't
War.
Winter Soldier. I think it was Civil War.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was stupid in the first place. They're like, yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna, but that's why they bumped it 1 week. They went, wait, never mind, because they knew it was gonna be bad. But okay, I agree
It was-
100%. That was a terrible adaptation of two separate comics into one
they
really
rushed
bad
it too
adaptation.
fast.
Okay,
Oh,
so
they
totally.
rushed it too
Totally.
fast.
I'm gonna give an interesting adaptation. That Ricky for sure has not seen this. I'm not sure about Mike. And people feel differently about this, just depending. Full Metal Alchemist, the anime, the original one, deviates at episode 3. Like episode 3,
I know nothing of.
I know, this is why I'm
Fullmetal
explaining
Alchemist.
this. So episode 3 of Full Metal Alchemist, the original series, immediately deviates and goes a completely separate direction with the same type of characters and same kind of overall plot, but a huge deviation story-wise from the
Excuse
manga.
me real quick. While y'all are doing this that I know nothing of, I'm going to go tap this keg real quick. I'll be back.
He's going to keep on drinking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir. But
So-
I got to
Okay,
go drain
so we're talking the first series, Full Metal Alchemist,
Yes.
as opposed to Brotherhood,
Yes.
Okay.
So,
because Brotherhood follows the manga.
yeah, Brotherhood follows it very closely. Like,
Yes.
and I mean, every now and then there's like some slight difference. But like
Right.
even the original Brotherhood movie that was the sequel to the original series,
Yeah.
not even in the manga, nothing even close to that. Now, I
Yeah.
enjoy the original story. It's far more succinct plot, and the sequel and the way it wrapped up, I thought was actually very good. If not, it was a very good anime in the way that it made you feel. But I also watched all of the Brotherhood series, which was
Right.
almost direct adaptation. And I found it a bit too long. Slightly too many characters that were interesting at first and then just became boring and repetitive. But I liked some of the differences, especially within the homunculi, where they changed up either who they were or some of their motivations. Like Greed is roughly the same, but does so much more in Brotherhood.
Right.
But still
I
keeps
think-
within his character.
I think there was a reason why it was done that way. As far as I know, if I remember correctly, originally, when the first series came out, there was a bit of free reign given to the production company
Mhm.
to make Full Metal Alchemist, right?
Yeah.
So they were given leeway as long as the most of the characters
Yeah.
were going to be in it that was in the manga, and as long as they kept to and again the spirit of the series, it was
Yeah.
okay. And then later on, when that was finished, okay, we're going to be doing it again
I think-
according to the manga itself.
Yeah.
So
So somebody in the production end of it wasn't happy with the original series, despite how beloved it was and how good it was on its
Yeah.
own, and really just wanted to say, no, we got to suck this up and we got to bring it into like 98% or 99% accuracy.
yeah, it's very curious.
And
Very
it-
curious.
and I
Because
guess
because
happens in
it was
anime, I
explained
guess.
to me. Yeah, because it was explained to me originally because my kids watched it, right, at first.
Mhm.
And they were explaining to me, well, it doesn't follow the manga. You got to watch if you want to follow the manga, then you got to watch Brotherhood. And I never read the manga at that point.
Yeah.
And but both were equally well done because it was
But I could see
it was
in-
because I went in with the understanding, knowing that permission was given by the creator
Mm.
that they could deviate a little bit. So in my mind,
they
I'm thinking,
deviated
okay,
a bit.
well, yeah.
a decent
so
bit.
so I'm thinking, okay, if it was okay with the creator itself, right?
Yeah.
Because apparently the manga wasn't even finished.
See, that's the thing I don't know. That's the thing I don't know is
That's what I
which
had
one
heard.
was close. Like, because
Yeah.
I don't think it deviated because they were like off book. I think it
Right.
deviated because okay. There's another thing we can talk about Game of Thrones here in a minute. We can really go down that rabbit hole here as the most modern adaptation of a book that just went weird. But
Right.
I will have to look into it more. But I do think you're probably right that the manga wasn't finished, but it was
No, it
close
wasn't.
enough that they were like, hold on a minute.
And that's
Because-
why they rebooted it with Brotherhood,
Yeah,
right? Because
but-
the manga
but-
was finished.
It was like 5
And they wanted
years
to-
later. It was like I think it was a 5-year gap between,
Something like that.
because I watched the original as it was coming out. I was torrenting episode per week. You know,
Right.
a friend of mine who got me into anime gave me the original episodes. Ricky's back with it. Truly, it looks like. You're muted, dummy.
I'm gonna show you. My wife made this for me.
Uh-huh.
So you see, it's got my name on it.
Oh, it's a Ricky.
Beauty.
Wait for it.
Oh, look, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
sound wave. Oh, it's a votive candle, but you drink out of it.
No, it's
It looks like a
tumbler.
votive candle. If to
Yeah,
devo-
no, it's a tumbler. I got her a sublimation printer at Christmas time, and she just figured out how to do sublimation cups.
Oh,
I
sweet.
can run this
Cool.
in a dishwasher, and nothing bad happens to
How,
it.
how much you pay for that? I'm just curious.
the printer.
Sublimation
The
printer.
cups? I think she gets.
No,
like
no, no,
four
no, no.
packs.
Sublimation printer.
Oh, it was a few $100s.
Yeah, yeah.
But it has
I
like
know
you can
somebody's got
do
one.
shirts, cups, hats. Like it has all the different attachments. I got her to the top line.
See,
one.
that's why we got to get some C
Oh,
strings
yeah,
to
no.
print our logo
Hey.
on to send to Joe.
I told you that my
I
wife
mean, I
could
know
do
what
all
a
that
sublimation
shit.
printer does.
Yeah.
I just want to know,
Yeah,
you know,
we
how
need to
much-
do that.
And what?
So why
brand
haven't
and
you made
whatnot,
new
because I do
mask
wanna
for
get one.
Bobby?
Why haven't I made what for who?
New mask for Bobby.
I probably could.
Yes.
Just remember
Dance
it's the
monkey,
reverse.
Make them right away.
Just remember, it's the reverse of what you think it is.
But anyway,
it's black on white,
so-
not
so-
white on black.
So back to
You can't do white on black.
That's what I said. It's black on white.
See, the way with sublimation works, if you want to do it on any kind of color, you have to bleach it
Yeah, you do.
because the sublimation only attaches to lighter colors. So this cup was white. She just added all
It's
this other shit on top.
it's like using your blend thing on
Yeah.
later
But I
photos.
could talk to her. She probably could get away with doing that. I didn't even think about that.
So
So, but the thing was, yeah, they when permission was given by the creator, you know, to go ahead and deviate because
Yeah.
the manga wasn't finished first.
So-
you know, in my mind, it's like, okay, well, if it's okay with him, you know, it should be relatively okay because for the most part, generally when an anime is adapted, you know, they keep pretty faithful for the most part.
yeah, they'll deviate a bit. Like okay,
You know,
for
a
instance,
tad-
like Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
like Dragon Ball Z deviated a bit. Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Super massively deviated because they were ahead of the manga. So I mean,
Naruto
that's-
didn't really deviate at all. I mean,
It-
except with
it
a few
did for
filler
all the
episodes here
filler.
and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for the filler, but
Yeah.
you know, but you take those
So-
filler out, which are really, you know, just you know, you can isolate them, toss them all out.
Yeah.
And
They're
you still
not
have
even
the main
key to this.
story.
They're only key whenever they bring back a character that was in the filler.
Well, you know, when they
Nobody
have to play
cares.
catch up with the manga, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the only reason you
Or
would need
give
to
the
see
manga
it,
time to, yeah.
yeah, I'm just talking about where a filler would even bother in the future. You know, most of it you could throw away, no problem. So like I skipped most of the filler between the end of Naruto and then into Shippuden, and then they brought
Yeah.
back a character from the Sand Village that was somebody who was important in one filler arc that I'd never seen. I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
You know, they're like named character. Who the fuck are you? I don't care. So speaking of that, where it's a situation where the story isn't finished being written, but the adaptation is going on, Game of Thrones, I think, is a very good way to kind of nail this down, where it was a pretty good deviation from the story, even from the beginning, but people loved it until it started going way off the rails.
Yeah.
It's like they had their guidelines, and then just I don't know if it was the fact that they obviously were off book, there was nothing to go from, or that their changes were so significant that they didn't have anywhere to go but continually fuck it up, you know?
I don't know. I think because a certain narrative wanted to be pushed, and that's why we got the ending that we did
Ricky.
of sorts. So
I don't know if Ricky's seen Game of Thrones.
I have always seen all the Game of Thrones, and I own all 8 of them in fucking box sets. Don't tell me if I seen Game of Thrones.
I
Bitch,
didn't
have
know.
you seen Game of Thrones?
We've not talked about Game of Thrones, that's why I was asking.
I'm a Game of
So-
Thrones nut, and I've
so-
read all the books that are available.
Okay, so bad or good adaptation?
Bad. Well, can't say bad. They changed a lot of stuff, but because of fuckhead being a fuckhead, they could pretty much do whatever the fuck they want to that show and not ruin it.
Mm.
I didn't hate the ending like everybody else did. I don't think it should have been Bran, but
Brandon,
It
I
is
didn't. I
what it
didn't
is.
care about that part of it. I cared more about the John storyline more than Brand's. But
his storyline was very anticlimactic. John's was, and
Yeah,
I'm
because-
not looking forward to this new spin-off show. I think it's going to be
No.
fucking trash. They're going to find a way to fuck up John's story, and I'm not going to like it.
yeah,
I-
they will.
I think he's not wanting to really be a part of it.
He is
If-
a
if
part.
I
He's
heard-
already signed on to it.
He's already signed on. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I heard he was like probably not wanting to do it. But
So-
if
so-
he is, well, then he is.
At what point? Okay, so you weren't disappointed with the bad end or with the ending, except for that. But now, when I say a good adaptation, I don't mean good as in it's close to the source. I mean it's good, and it's an adaptation. Does that make
There's
sense?
some things that I
Hmm.
thought were massive changes that were important in the book that they ruined in the show.
Mhm.
That just because of how they did it, like the Red Wedding played out way different in the book.
Yeah.
Like his wife wasn't there, so that whole thing didn't happen. His mom died, but she was resurrected.
Lady Stoneheart.
I'm gonna mess it up. Yeah, Stoneheart.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she plays an important part in the story.
She was
later on
really
after
important to the
Red
River Run section.
Wedding. Yep.
And seriously, okay. The other, and I'll say this as things that I won't say ruined it, but I know that I wish that was in the series, especially right at the end when they were doing all the stuff taking back areas.
Right.
One, bringing back Lady Stoneheart would have been great. There was at least 2 spots they could have done it, but
She
also
was super important.
the super wolf or the super pack of wolves from what's her face's wolf, dire wolf.
Yes, where
So-
she went out and bred
Yeah.
with other wolves and all that.
Yeah, and so literally that helps play in the war at some point in the
Yeah.
books.
Like
and-
they come in and charge that. I think it was during the Battle of the Bastards.
I think it
Like,
is
they
either the
come-
battle.
they come
No, I
out.
think it was the what is it? What is it called? The fucking the Tower Bridge thing. I thought it was there because it's close to River Run, not near.
Oh, for the Walter Frey story,
yeah, I thought it was there.
maybe
In the books.
But I
I'm
know
pretty
that
sure
they
that's
came out.
where it
They
was.
play a big. It's been a couple years since I've read. Well, a few years.
But
since I've read
either
the
way,
books, but yeah.
oh, I just thought about it. That was Nymeria, the wolf. So
Yeah.
it's close to our namesake here.
Yeah. And then like in the books, like if I remember right, didn't Tyrion get the grayscale? Like when that shit all happened in
Tyrion
the
was
water?
just fucked
I
up in general.
so.
Tyrion was far more fucked up. I don't think he got grayscale. Somebody else did.
Well, we know Jorah
Jorah, yeah.
did. Jorah did.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they
they
changed.
They kept that in the movie.
They
or
changed
the
a
show.
lot of characters stuff that
The fact
happened
that
to
they
them.
did the ending that they did, I'm gonna say I fucking hate George R.R. Martin as a writer
Yeah.
because he let Hollywood go to his head.
Yep.
Since that show became a big huge hit, he just fucking stopped. He didn't bother. He wanted to run around and be on TV shows and show everybody his Captain and Tennille hat that he fucking wears all the time and
Suspenders.
fucking be trying to be cool and all that shit. He should have been writing them fucking books. So what's gonna happen, and I'm calling it now, is he's gonna put out some lame ass fucking ending. It's gonna be either an exact written duplicate. He's gonna explain how the show's ending happened because so many people hated the ending. He's gonna
Right.
make it happen in his book, but try to justify it with writing. Or he's gonna make just some trash throwaway fucking ending just to end it. And that's if
If
he ever
I-
even bothers fucking finishing it.
I'm with you, and I don't think that
Probably
he,
won't.
I think he will never finish it, and I think it's because had he
He's gonna
fi-
drop dead at a Herogasm fucking story.
he
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
if he wanted to finish it, he would have done it before the show ended, and he would have made sure that they stayed close-ish to the ending. Now I know he
Like a
said
lot of
he,
people don't realize he wrote like the first Game of Thrones books like in the mid '90s.
it was a long time
Like, it
ago,
was
like
like
20 some odd
yeah.
years, yeah.
And now he's
he wrote
got
that
his
book.
railway boxes full of money. It's like, what's
Yeah.
the motivation now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So-
I got
he
what I
wrote
want.
his. I want to say I could be wrong because Google is an easy way to figure out whether I'm right or wrong, and I'm okay
Mhm.
with being wrong. But I think his first Game of Thrones book actually came out before the first Harry Potter book.
It did.
And here we are,
Really?
10 Harry Potter movie fucking later. They
'Cause Harry
finished that
Potter
whole
came
series
out
up
in
in
98.
Yeah, 25 years later.
'Cause
Yeah.
Harry
They
Potter
added all
was
the
in-
extra shit into it. It was like 98, 99 when the first Harry Potter book dropped, and I want to say his was like 95 or 96. It was somewhere. I could be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong.
Let me
but
look
I think
here.
it was something like that. Google that shit, yo.
97.
97 was the
No,
first
I'm
Harry
sorry.
Potter.
No, I'm sorry. 96 was the first Game of Thrones book.
Yeah, the Song of Fire and Ice.
Oh wait, hold on. That just says A Game of Thrones. His first novel.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
The whole series is called A Song of Fire and
I
Ice.
know,
The first
I know,
one's
I
called
know.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
It's kind of like Star Wars and New Hope. Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's different.
96 was that this year? 97, year before. So yeah,
Yep.
it came out 1 year before.
Yep, and they
But Harry
finished out
Potter's
10
managed
fucking
all the books
They
plus
finished
10
all
movies.
the books and extra shit.
11 movies.
The extra 3 extra movies past the fucking Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
And we can't get him to finish his fucking one last book.
But they're
Technically,
making another show.
he should probably have 2 more fucking books
He
because
does.
he wasn't anywhere near the ending. Like I think they
was-
started deviating from the books in like season 4 or 5 because they were running out of material.
Oh yeah, they were out of material by the end of season 5. But
Yeah, so those last 3 seasons are just completely made
Well,
up. I know
the final-
I know the last 2 are definitely fucking made up.
yeah,
but
except
they-
he gave them the road
Artistic
signs.
license. Yeah, he gave them a general fucking. This is the.
He gave them the
framework,
points you
do
need to
something
hit.
here.
Yeah, he gave them the points you need to hit, and then you get there how you got to with what you've made is what it is. Now,
Yeah.
whether or not the ending was exactly what he had in mind, or it was just kind of along those lines,
It wasn't, but he'll probably just write a book that says it was.
but here's the problem, and I think this is the reason I tried to say this a minute ago. The reason he will never finish the books is there's no good way to end it at this point because everyone hated
An
how the show
expectation.
ended. So the expectation to make the book better is impossible.
That's a callback, y'all. Our
Yeah.
expectation conversation that we had
Yeah,
because
it's what it comes down
I didn't
to.
like Bran on there. I think it should have been fucking John that got on there.
It should have
But
been Tyrion.
then somebody else says it's Tyrion. Somebody else says it's
Yeah.
Cersei, and somebody else says it's this. So you're never gonna make anybody happy.
I
They're all
know,
gonna
that's true.
fucking hate the ending.
And
So he's literally gonna pump out a fucking a paper cutter book. It's literally gonna be just a book explaining why they got to the end in the show. If he writes the ending, he's gonna make it end the same way the show did. He's just gonna make up why it happened that way. He's gonna fill in all the blanks.
Sorry,
all the
my
blanks that
throat's
they
dry.
rushed through. God bless you. All the shit that they rushed through to get to the end, and that is my biggest complaint about last 2 seasons.
The rush.
Is not how it ended. It
Yeah.
is not how it ended. It is the fucking pacing of that show went to fucking overdrive in the last 2 seasons because they were rushing to try to end it. That is the only thing I didn't like about the last 2 seasons.
Do you know? Okay,
How they killed off the White King, the Night King.
Yeah,
Like he died like a fucking bitch after all that build up and shit.
I'm
he
fine with
died
how he
so
dies.
quick.
I'm fine with how he died because he had already done so much.
And that should have been Jon Snow. That should have been Jon Snow.
I kind of agree that it could have been Jon, but I like the idea that Jon was dealing with a dragon, and given
Mm-hmm.
his Targaryen nature, that that's where it is. So,
But again, that's the rushing of the show that made it happen that way. He had to go deal with all that shit instead of dealing with the Night King.
Yeah.
And everybody acts like the Night King was such a big badass. Go back and watch the show again. He really doesn't do anything.
No, he really
The
doesn't.
only thing he
I
does
agree.
is throw that one spear that kills the one dragon, and then the next time you see him doing anything is when he dies.
well, he
Yeah.
technically raises
about
all
it?
the dead at Hardhome.
No, you don't know that.
No, he does. He literally
Hey.
goes this and raises them all up.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything.
No, I
personally,
agree.
like, he doesn't fight anybody, attack anybody. He's not shown to be this badass killer knight type thing that they were
I
trying
think-
to build him up to be. And
Well,
it's like he goes and
he's the
dies
Borg-
by a
he's the
simple
Borg
little dagger drop from a little girl. Womp womp.
I
That's
think-
fucking dumb.
The problem is that they kind of made it out to be that they were going to be these awesome warriors, which granted, when we do see them kind of
In the
actually
books,
getting,
they are.
Yeah.
In the books, they are.
but in the
'Cause
show,
they tell
they're
you
the
a lot
Borg.
more. Yeah, and in the books, they tell you a lot more,
Well, you don't even
and
know.
they hint at a lot more.
You don't even know that the Night King is basically not Bran the Builder, but somebody like that. One of
Yeah,
them.
it's like one of the famous Targaryens that died.
No,
You
he's one of the
know,
famous.
supposedly.
He's not a Targaryen. He's a fucking from. Why am I drawing a blank here?
Winterfell.
Why-
Winterfell.
God, Stark.
He's one of
a
he's
Stark.
one of the ancestors.
He's one of the
Starks, yeah.
original brand Starks, like because the names get passed down. So he's not the builder. He's one of them, and they just kind of gloss over that.
And they kind of just blow. They don't even mention it in this. He's just some dude, and
So
they made him out to be like this big, like the commercial drive and the promo drive and all that made him to be this big, huge badass, and he really didn't do shit. I don't care. Anybody says he throws one spear and kills a dragon.
Yeah,
he raises some people from the dead, and then he dies by a little kid dropping a knife into their other hand. He was trash in the show.
All he actually was an RTS player.
Yep. Exactly that.
Yeah, he's playing StarCraft.
They should have done better by him than that.
He's playing StarCraft as a Zerg, and he's just literally just fucking blowing through it. Like I said, it's like the Borg. He was the Borg queen. You know, he literally like just made more zombies to come back and.
He was Locutus.
No, I would think that some of the other ones were Locutus. He was the Borg queen, like the ones he made otherwise were that, but nobody talked, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but either way, like
so, I mean, there were some things that they changed that I think was cool. I think. Yeah. In the books, I mean, her craziness is there. Like the genetic bloodline for her to be crazy and lose her shit is there.
Yeah.
But his books weren't leading to that direction. But the fact that he still had at least 2 books left to go.
Yeah.
Like with the pacing that he was doing on the stories, he had at least 2 books to go.
Yeah.
He could have led her to her crazy just like they did in the show.
But
in the show, it was like she was normal, she was normal, she was normal, she was normal, she was crazy, she was murdering people like instantaneously. Like it was too fast. That's what I'm saying. The pacing was off.
Yeah, well, I agree. They had to rush it for budget.
They didn't have to. They chose fucking to. HBO wouldn't have kicked them off. They were making them millions of fucking dollars. They wouldn't have said, "Oh, y'all got to wrap that shit up." They could have gone for another 10 fucking years.
Yeah, but there something was telling them that they couldn't get to another season. Or
the directors wanted to go do something else. They probably couldn't renegotiate their contracts to get more fucking money.
Which good for them. You know. They went on to do their shit.
Fuck them because they ruined my show. So fuck them.
The network did. Either way, no. What I was trying to get at, what the fuck? I know the final book is supposed to be Dream of Spring, but I can't remember what the one before it was. Something.
There's no nail down. Those were his concept books. Like,
yeah. Well, those are the way. Those are the
he could wrap it up
released.
in 1 book. He could wrap it up in 2 books, or he could keep it going for another 10 books. He could do whatever the fuck he wants to. He had himself set up to keep going.
His original plan was that, but I'm trying to remember. It's not. I know it was
supposed to be 5 books, I think, in total.
I'm just trying to remember. Fuck. Okay, so the first one is a Game of Thrones, then something Crows, right? What are all the titles?
The Crown of Thrones or some bullshit like that.
I know Crows is in there. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Side note: we're gonna wrap up here in a minute, but I think that's a perfect example of how you can adapt something and it be really good, even though it's away from the adaptation, and then it can turn really sour. Even though we're completely, even though you're not,
the adaptation didn't turn sour.
That's what I'm getting at.
Source material is sour.
The lack of
from the adaptation.
the lack of source material ruined the adaptation.
Yeah,
because you had nothing to go from, and you just had to make it up from here on.
I'm not gonna say it didn't ruin the adaptation. I think the adaptation ruins the source material. He can't go back to
now
that
it does.
and finish those books. He cannot go back and finish those books with everybody being happy. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way it's gonna happen.
I agree.
There's gonna be internet fire when he finally put his last book.
Winds of Winter was that? Okay, so Game of Thrones, first one, Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords, Feast of Crows, or Feast for Crows, a Dance with Dragons, Winds of Winter, and A Dream of Spring. That was
and the Feast of Crows was the last one he put out, right?
No, Dance with Dragons.
Dance with Dragons was the last one.
Winds of Winter was the one he never finished, not the first one he didn't finish, and then Dream of Spring. So, dude, it's been since 2011.
Yeah, so he had 6 books in total in mind. I knew it was like it was 5, but
no, 7.
Yeah, 7 books.
He put out 5.
Forget your fat ass moving and finish up. Like,
but on. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he was in the middle of Winds of Winter because he's in different things. He's read excerpts from the book as he went. Now he could be just making this shit up on the spot, but you know, but that is the problem with when you're trying to.
I mean, he's like 90 and he's out trying to party like a rock star. He's not going to finish these books. He's not going to finish these.
He's doing he has no
little TikToks.
It's going to be like it's going to be like what's his name? Robert Ludlum that wrote the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
And he passed away.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be Robert Ludlum's Bourne Identity as by so and so, whoever the new author was. And that's
Or
how it's
the
gonna be
same thing like
based.
the author of Dune, right? Like he never finished
Yeah.
like the last book, and
Yeah.
now it's on a cliffhanger forever.
Yep.
Well,
And his
well,
son
it's
is
not
what
gonna be
about the Bond?
apparently.
The Bond
Well, no,
series?
but I mean,
Right,
his son doesn't even know like the material as well, right? It's
It
like-
doesn't have to be their ending. What I'm saying
Well-
is they'll just take the story and say, "A Song of Fire and Ice," as written by fucking J whatever R
Anybody.
Martin.
Anybody.
Yeah.
And they'll do I keep trying to say J.R.R. Tolkien. God damn this.
Everybody
Jameson.
does that. Yes.
R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
And they'll say written by, you
Mhm.
know, Mike Lord. Like they'll
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that person, the author who actually wrote it, but just try to say it was his
So-
shit. And it'll be whatever the fuck they want to make
So
up.
here's a question: with the upcoming show, what is it? Blood. And,
I'm not looking forward
Blood
to
and
that
Fire.
spinoff. The-
I am.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not.
I don't
they're
know.
gonna fuck
I
it
think
up.
I'm gonna give it
Because it doesn't involve any of our characters that we have had. I'm fine. Cool. Show us shit we've never seen.
Did you read the books?
I just know
The
a lot
books.
about
The
them.
books go very in depth into the past. Like
Yeah.
it's not just somebody just so happened. It's very much almost like reading the Bible. Like
Mhm.
John, son of so and so, son of so and so,
Yeah.
who was the such and such,
Yeah.
son of so and so. Like it's very much like that in the books.
Yeah.
And so these people they're talking about, if you've read the books, you
Mhm.
know who they are and you know what the fuck they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Like
think
when
he's
they
written source
when
books
they-
too.
Like when they gloss over that the Knights book that
Yeah.
Jamie was talking about,
Mhm.
like in the actual books, you read full excerpts from that book.
Yeah.
Like it's important to the story.
I think that's the issue with having such dense source material, that it's really hard to adapt because even the Harry Potter movies, as good as they were, it really didn't adapt the stories or they got as close as they could with such a massively dense storyline, and details.
Like the one that was
like
furthest off was the Goblet of Fire. That one left a lot of shit on the table.
or just
Yeah,
Because I read the book.
changed it.
I'm not a Harry Potter nut, but my wife is, and I bought
Yeah.
her the box set. But I'm a voracious reader.
So we need to bring her
So
in real quick and talk about that.
I read her books. She's just gonna tell you she loves them. She thinks they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
they're
like
best thing ever.
the difference between the book and thing is an acceptable adaptation.
She hasn't read the books in 20 years. Like I bought her that box set.
Mhm.
I read the first two books, or she read the first book, and I was like, well, let me read, because she reads slower than I do. I was like, well, let me read them. By the time I finished the fourth book, she had just finished the second book. By the time I finished the whole series, she was on the fourth book, and she lost it. Like her box set is missing the fourth book out of it now. She doesn't even, because she's a teacher. She left it in one of her classrooms somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she doesn't even know where the fuck it is, and she'd never finished them. Like she'd read them before.
Yeah.
But since I bought her the box set, she never read them, and I read them.
Yeah. I'll say one last thing on this conversation, and I think it is important, and because we've discussed how adaptations can even deviate in a decent way and be really good, or not deviate at all and actually suck. So I think part of it also comes down to who makes it, who writes the adaptation, who puts it together. And we're seeing that a lot nowadays.
I think it comes down to whether they were a fan of the source material, because that makes a huge difference. Even if they change it from the source material, if they're a fan of it, they'll keep the spirit the same.
I think that's
just change the outer layers.
That is a fair point, but then there could be people who are fans, but also
J.J.
fuck it up.
Abrams, fuck you, episode 9, eat my fucking taint. Yes, J.J. Abrams.
Well, technically that's not an adaptation. That's an entirely new thing. So,
but he was supposedly a fan of Star Wars and did that.
Oh, he was a fan of Star Wars. Unfortunately, he was more a fan of his Twitter mob. That's what happens when you make a movie via Twitter.
Yeah, anybody can say they're a fan, but are they actually? If they were a real fan, then they'd keep it close to the source material.
Well, and we can't argue that a movie that's based off of nothing has source material. However, if you fuck up an entire sequel because you're undoing the previous sequel, it's basically like the next president writing executive order to undo the previous president's executive orders, right? Same thing.
Which is what they do.
Which is exactly what happened. So,
that's why we all bitch about our presidents.
So, in this point, if we turn around in 20 years we remake Star Wars from the ground, literally from episode 4 up.
Just stop. Just don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
even
I'm
let you
saying, like,
finish
it's gonna
fucking
be
saying
terrible.
that. No,
Yeah,
just stop
yeah,
talking.
no,
just stop
just
talking.
no.
Just stop talking.
But I'm
No,
saying that's what they
no.
would do, and it
Leave
would
it
be
alone.
terrible.
Leave it the fuck
No,
alone.
just
Do
don't
Knights of
touch
the Old
it.
Republic or jump way in the fucking future.
So
Just
what if
get
it,
the
what if
fuck
okay,
away from the Skywalker saga. Just
so
get away
so
from it.
we'll very much end on this. If they do Knights of the Old Republic, how bad are they gonna fuck it up?
I never played the game, so they can't fuck it up for me. See that again, our
Play
previous
the games,
conversation
read
of
the story. They're gonna fuck it up. They would fuck it up.
expectations and baggage. I would probably like it a lot more than like Gort or Mike or even Bobby, who is a huge fan of that old stuff. They would probably dislike it more than I would.
So let's just have them do a course on Knight's show, so Bobby will have no problems.
I ain't gay. Hey, did I tell you I went out and bought that whole trilogy and I started reading it just to fuck with him?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna finish it before he does. Like one time we went on the Zoom meetings and like I just did like the whole, I was acting like I was reading, and then the Zoom meeting, like my camera clicked on. It's like, oh hey, I didn't see you there. Laura told me, she's like, oh, he was reading she's like, oh, he's reading a book, and he's like, well, what is he reading? He's like, I'm like, oh, Course on Knights, book 1. I'm halfway through it, and he just started laughing.
Actually, that would probably be a good long running TV show basis.
The Course on Knights.
Yeah, why not? You know, doesn't have anything. You don't have to deal with the Skywalker bullshit.
Shout out to Pinkerton for putting me onto those books, because I never read them when they came out, and I'm actually enjoying them. They're actually really good.
Well, there you go. All right, so we've gone for 4 hours, so I think it's time to wrap it up.
Sounds like we got some bonus material in there somewhere.
Lots of bonus material.
I mean, you need to bank one of them. What was it, Jay? We got to bank one of them.
Yeah, we're gonna make at least the first conversation, but break up the deviations.
That's the problem, is we talk about stuff that's happening right now, and it's hard to bank that.
Well,
that's
when I say
saying,
bank,
like, if we ever did the,
when I say bank,
if we did the recording
bonus
of us, yeah. But I'm saying if we did like the recording of us talking about like Hitchhiker's Guide or talking about Doctor Who, like a real in-depth dive, we could bank those because there's no time limit on those because they've been out for a while.
Yeah. That's not a problem.
Oh God, yeah. Especially
so
we need to do that one day. Record this, and then just know that, hey, we're gonna do an extra hour or two behind it, and just record those things.
Well, at that point, we're just banking
just have
episodes.
them in the safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either way, guys, thanks for sticking with all of this long ass episode, however long it may have been in the actual edit.
Did you read Will's email?
Yeah.
Okay, the alcohol's kicking in.
You just forgot.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. The alcohol kicked in.
It's okay, Mike.
But Will, thank you for sticking it out, man. We're glad you didn't rage quit, because I know it takes a lot to.
Well, that wasn't even rage quitting, and also that was not even in response to us in particular. He was voicing his opinion on a conversation we had on the live stream. But the fact that he's
still listening means he didn't rage quit.
Yeah. Well,
so
we
appreciate
glad anybody
you, Will.
doesn't rage quit.
Yeah, we're sorry. Sometimes our stuff doesn't match your stuff, and we're very strong personalities, and we come across that way. I know Mike has taken the brunt of it a couple times, and he's still here. So we're glad you're still here too.
It's because I'm made of sterner stuff.
Yeah, he's made of fucking beaver pelts and fucking ice cubes.
That's right.
He's just a big old moose knuckle is really what it is.
He's a frozen lump of maple syrup covered.
I am the Ice King.
Hopefully you don't go out like that punk in Game of Thrones.
No.
Stay away from little chicks with knives. They'll fuck you up, man.
No, he's going to go out like the king beyond the wall, dude. In the show, but not in the series.
My wife. That's it. That's my wife right there, Kara.
Yeah.
Kara with her knives, man. She's going to stay away.
Yep.
Man.
He's gonna go out like Egret. Either way, guys. So of course, you can follow us on all the Nymea things wherever it is that you're watching or listening to this show. Please hit the like button or the 5 stars or the whatever the fuck. It doesn't seem like people are hearing this as much as they used to, because I'm seriously on the Podbean app. It tells me all the stats. We've really dropped in all our numbers and however many countries are hearing us, and I have no idea why. There doesn't seem to be anything.
That's not on us, dude. We're just here to talk, and if y'all listen, y'all listen.
Well, that's what
but if you do buy merch, my one thing, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick, Shoky.
Yeah.
If you do buy merch, send us a picture, either wearing the shirts or holding the mug, something like that. Send that to us. We can't show it on the show, obviously, because we're an audio show.
I can post.
But we'll be able to see it. Yeah. Well, even that we'll be able to see it, and it does. It makes a difference. What was the lady who did the shirt?
Laura.
Miss Laura, she was awesome. She sent us a picture of her wearing our tank top, and it really kind of boosts us a little. Like it does feel nice to see.
So
see
she's
that
bought.
happen.
So she's not just supporting this show; she's supporting all of my stuff because she's bought.
Nobody cares about the other Shoky shit.
Yeah, she does. She supports the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel because she just bought a unnecessary base face tank top as well.
I'm not on that. I don't give a fuck. Miss Laura, buy more Nymea stuff.
Yeah, well, I've come up with more stuff than she can.
I
Either way.
told you, man.
I'm
Do the
working
doof
on it,
shirt.
motherfucker.
Go
do
to
the
my
doof
channel.
shirt.
I was thinking about the doof shirt yesterday while I was working, so I have an interesting.
It's very
design.
simple. It's literally just fucking words. You don't even have to work hard on
No,
it.
no, I've got an idea for it. It'll look nice. Either way, so you can
No,
follow.
you're gonna change it. Don't change it. Look,
I'm not going
y'all,
to change
he's
the
not allowed to
wording.
change it.
I'm going to make it aesthetically pleasing,
Yeah, keep it
No,
to canon.
just words with arrow, nothing
and
else.
that's what it'll be.
Nothing
But
Ricky's
it'll be
canon.
aesthetically pleasing. Either
That's
way,
right.
I came
So-
up with it. You don't get to change it. You don't get to
Ricky-
edit my shit.
Ricky's
I get
canon.
to design it. Either way. So follow me at all the Shoky
That's
stuff
right,
down
Mike.
below. You can follow Mike at all the Comic Relief Crusader-y things, either on
That's
Facebook
right.
or
I
otherwise.
have t-shirts.
You can go buy merch from Mike if you want to.
And he
but
has
you don't
cool
have to.
posters too, y'all. Get
But
over there
since-
on them posters.
Since Mike came in an hour late, don't buy anything from him this week.
I don't agree. Buy more from him.
Yeah, because I'm working a graveyard shift.
He's got a
working my
job
ass
now and he
off,
doesn't
got
need to
a
sell
job.
merch.
Come on.
he's got a job. He
No,
doesn't need your
I
money
really
anymore.
do. I'm getting
I-
underpaid for what I'm doing.
I don't
Look,
say that now.
meth in Florida is expensive. I need money.
Yeah.
You've got a good
exactly.
paying job too.
No.
Yep, you can also-
I mean, it's all right.
You can also follow
20 years of experience. It better be
Yeah.
fucking all right.
You can
Yeah.
follow Ricky's work at the Nerd Rage Radio Facebook where he posts the promos, which actually
Come over on Rama Collectors. You'll see me on there every once in a while. I pop in some of them videos and talk on their YouTube channel too.
That too. We don't really shout out the Realms stuff specifically.
I'm shouting
Yeah.
out the Realm
No,
stuff.
I'm saying we talk about the Realm, but we don't really shout it out. So
Realm
do
of
that too.
Collectors on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm
Yeah.
on some of them. They have episodes on Monday night, Enter the Realm, Tuesday night, Breaking the Mold, and then we'll have random stuff.
Random
on
shows
some of the
otherwise.
episodes
Yeah.
that pop up randomly.
Yep, we need more realm related people to come and visit. That'd be fun.
Yep.
So either way,
Come and see us and listen to our bullshit.
or not even that, come and hang out with us and talk.
Email us, tell us that we're wrong, tell us that we're right, take pictures of the stuff that you bought. Talk to us about stuff in your lives. I mean,
Yeah.
if y'all bring up stuff in your emails, that gives us stuff to talk about too. You don't have to hear us
Right.
pontificate about bullshit. I
Exactly.
mean, if you don't like what we're saying, send us something to talk about.
Supporting all of us and our channels supports this.
Yes.
We're all nerds, we're
Yeah.
all collectors, we're all people, we're all humans on this crazy fucking world. Just send something in and we'll talk about it.
Yep.
Or if you like, say we're talking about the adaptation thing, tell us your least favorite and most favorite adaptation from a different source material, whether the shows or movies.
Yeah, give us some of
Let
your
us know.
head canon.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
it.
let us know what you think of shit.
Yep, exactly. So guys, that's gonna be it. We'll catch you.
And I
on
love
the
these
next
two
one.
chuckle fucks. Thank you, Will.
We love you too.
Chuckle fucks.
Okay.
Bringing it back. I don't care what
I'm
Matt
not-
said. I like how Matt tried to say that was my catchphrase. I'm like, I didn't make that shit up.
Like,
I was
what's
listening back.
from
I was
the
listening back
90s?
to it. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? My catchphrase. I didn't make that shit up.
Still your
You're just repeating what
catchphrase.
somebody else said.
Still a catchphrase.
From now on, I'm gonna
Oh,
be saying,
speaking of which,
gag me with a
which,
spoon.
Beansy had a rough week. He had a Matt that came on a couple weeks ago to cover when I was out. He had a rough week. He had to make a hospital visit.
Yeah, we talked about it last
Matt, no, this is a new one.
Oh,
It
another
happened
one.
this week.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
Matt, we love you, man. Keep yourself healthy. Miss Sal, keep him together for us because we need Beansy in our lives.
Yeah.
Make sure he's doing right. If you need me to fly up there and slap some shit into him, Miss Sal, you just let me know.
Damn, I just talked
Okay.
to him earlier. He didn't mention anything about that. Okay. I'll have to hit
Yeah,
back.
he had a rough one. So
Okay,
we
well,
love
I'll
you,
see that.
dude. We're glad you're feeling better. We're glad you're out. We're glad you're starting to feel a little better. Just take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, be safe, man.
Actually, everyone take care of themselves because it's a fucked up time to be living right now.
It's actually a great time to be living. Look at us on the internet talking bullshit about fucking Batman and Game of Thrones and shit. Could you imagine living in the fucking Middle Ages? Fuck that shit.
What
Yes.
thou has us
We'd
done?
we'd
this
actually just be
week?
sitting in a bar.
Oh, nothing.
having
I
this
got the
conversation.
leeches.
No,
to
we
take
would- we'd
away
be
the
out bringing-
pestilence.
We'd be out, bring out your dead.
Yeah,
We'd be out there
exactly.
pulling out our dead
Yeah,
bodies.
from
Mike would be
COVID
out
one.
there toting a cart, bitching about everybody sucking for throwing dead bodies at the cart and missing.
Yeah,
Be like, that's what you get for letting a woman do it.
Yeah, from
That's
COVID
right.
from COVID 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, COVID one.
COVID 1. All right, and with that, okay, bye.
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 see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.